Hey everyone, we're back. We're live. My audio is fine. It's all good. Thanks, Dimitri. You ruined the game. No more game. End stream.
Alright, see you later.
It's time
See you
for
tomorrow,
session
everyone.
12 of Echoes of the Forgotten, starring our good friends here. We're going to start off with a little bit of who got play the game and RP, and we're going to give it to Nerissa, Christine, and Selena. They did really good last week. And then we're going to show off a piece of art that Tez drew, because it's pretty. But I need to make sure that everyone's got the thing first, so let's get the one on Nexara off her.
I can tick mine if you want.
And you can tick yours if you want. Okay. Now I will transition over to the correct screen. Oop, and hopefully it's the right one. Thank you. And then I can share it with everyone. It's a really nice piece. We were going to use it for tokens and stuff, but compression is a bitch. Is the end thing. But it's a really
Compression's
nice
real mean.
Computers suck.
That is a very good picture.
You.
I would rate 11 out of 10.
I mean, I wouldn't. That's
Okay,
a
just
little too
being
high.
condescending.
It's just not like
That's a bit-
Picasso or
yeah.
anything, but like solid 6.
No, the reason why you rate it 11 out of 10 is because it's not perfect,
no.
and therefore it ruins your self-esteem.
No, it's a good.
What?
You're stupid. It's a good. It's a
Okay.
good picture. I like it. It's very nice.
Hey, my brain
I
hurt
know,
from
we're gonna
that.
Stop being mean now. But
Okay,
yeah.
let's stop being dumb.
Now, you want to say anything about the piece, Tez?
Nah, I'm good.
What inspired you to make this piece?
I wanted to draw my D&D character.
What inspired the inspiration?
What emotion is she giving off?
What were you feeling?
Darian, take it away.
I'm gonna mute everyone. Alright. Last time on Echoes, many deep conversations were had. Osiris read an interesting book that he doesn't remember reading. Christine shared the notes Court left her with Selena. And several people tried to mess with Chronocutter to no avail. And then you all ended up in Ghislaine. Once there, you met Aki, the headmaster of the Academy of Ghislaine and Christine's kind of dad, and came face to face with the caretaker. Mardo went on his way after giving Osiris a note, and the rest of the party split up after debriefing Aki on recent events. Nerissa went to go meet his contact Z and check on his old home, which unfortunately had been renovated. Osiris went to check the lead given to him by Mardo and ended up in a brothel. He tried to leave before being convinced to stay by a worker who turned out to be Clarence. He was provided a decent amount of info to work with and left with many more questions. On his way back to the group, he met briefly up with Anixara and then was followed by an unknown Leonin who turned out to be a relative of Jacoba's who was currently looking for him. They talked and agreed to meet the next day and discussed potentially traveling together in hopes of finding the lost lion. Selena went off to explore the city, and while she was gone, Christine received an uninvited guest, a 17-ish looking humor, who took Chronocutter despite Christine's protests and left with it. A short while later, Selena showed up, and after a quick discussion, they went to go talk to Court's wife and son and break the news. It wasn't fun. Everyone decided to get some rest and get over their exhaustion. Christine was thrown even more shenanigans when she met an entity in her dream that claimed to be her mother's mother, and Osiris woke to overwhelming noise in his head and to find out that he was reading the minds of those around him. It eventually faded away, but as he made his way back to his room, he heard a voice in his head speak. And this is where we'll continue off.
Alright, it is currently, I do believe, the 30th of Prate, the penultimate day of the year 901. 903, actually, my bad. What is everyone's day going to be?
I can start.
Yeah,
Go
Um,
for it.
Yeah, the past couple of days for Christine have been anything but light. I feel like she probably doesn't register that it is really close to the end of the year, like, and everything to come up with it. She's most likely to herself. Like, I don't think she really leaves her room unless someone asks, nor does she really have the, I guess, push or drive to do much. It's almost like the everything that is fallen onto her is just emotionally drained her to the point of just nothing.
At one point during the evening, Arky knocks on your door. And
She sort of, she moves up, lets him in, of course.
I have news from my sending spells, if you wanted to hear it.
Yeah, she sort of, I don't know, like, it's kind of hard for her to want to say yes, but also, like, it's that point where she just doesn't know what she's saying. Guess,
If you
yeah.
don't want to hear it, that's fine. It can be saved for another day.
She nods.
You want to save it for another day, or you want to hear it?
To like, save it for another day. After she hears that part, she just nods.
Alright, I'll come back at sometime after the ceremonies.
Thank you.
And he leaves and gives you some space.
How about other people? Who else? What's other people doing during this day?
Neresian is gonna spend the day working on his crossbow, and he's gonna spend the night. He's a little bitter. He's a little upset, so he's gonna go back on the roof, and he's gonna stealthily make a hatch.
So you're gonna spend the day in isolation, and then at night you're gonna go back up there and mess with the place.
Yes, I'm gonna get my room back. God fucking damn it!
Alright, roll stealth check with disadvantage.
Is it because he'll expect me to come?
No, it's because you're trying to pry open a rift tile with probably a crowbar.
I mean, I think I got one.
Yeah, it's not quiet.
Yeah. Let's go. 17.
You quietly slide a crowbar under and you lift up a tile, and then you lift up a second, you lift up a third, giving you enough room to get in.
Cool. I wanna look around my old place.
It's the equivalent of an attic, and by that I mean it's an attic as if a house didn't have an attic. There's like maybe 2 feet between the bottom rafters and the tallest point.
Yep. Okay. I'm gonna put the roof tiles back and stay in the attic for the night.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh shit, no.
As you land on the ground, you jump back as you see 2 metal claws sling up in the air near your feet, as there seems to be a bear trap placed in the attic. There seems to be numerous of them.
Did it make a big sound?
Yeah.
It was pretty loud. It's a bear trap. They're not quiet.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
I'm then going to, provided my stealth has not been blown, systematically trigger the rest of them and take them as well.
Eventually, as you're going for like your third one, you see as the proprietor of the establishment walks up with his crossbow.
You basically see like a hatch open up in like down the end somewhere, because you can't see down below, but you hear footsteps. Like a hatch opens up, and you see his head pop out. And he's like, "You son of a!" And he starts lifting a crossbow up and pointing it towards you.
Okay. I'm gonna get out.
You gonna try and run away?
Yeah, I'm gonna lift up the roof tiles and then make a break for it with 2 bear traps.
Make it. Wow, AJ.
Yeah.
Double
I'll
armor.
say, with the natural one from AJ, you get out.
Plus.
You.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you get out as he fires the bow, ricochets off of a pillar, and you quickly escape.
Cool. I'm gonna head back to the nice district where they let me have a room and I'll go and stay in my room with what, 3 bear traps or 2?
Yeah, 2.
2
It was
bear
while you were
traps.
working on the 3rd one is when he popped up.
Okay.
What's wrong with the screen? I'm pink. Remember that.
All right. Who else is doing other things that hopefully aren't as weird?
I think that throughout like the days that we've been staying here, Selena would be spending a lot of time in the library. Just one day, sorry. We'd be she'd be spending a lot of time in the library, like a few hours or so, and then like just keeping an eye on Christine, trying to give her space, but at the same time just making sure she's okay.
Anything in particular you're researching, or?
At the moment, probably just like geographical stuff, maybe a little bit more on the Cartesian Concordant, because I don't really know a whole heap about that.
Cool. Roll me a investigation check. Just need to make sure I know what this is.
Why have I got this? Oh, am I still?
Take the exhaustions off of us.
I will. One sec. I'm trying to-
I
First
got
one. They'll both
16s
16s
anyway.
anyway.
Darren, is an archipelago a group of islands?
Yes, an archipelago is a group
Yes.
Cool. With that 18, which is good because you dropped the second one, which is fine. You know that the Cartesian Concordant is an archipelago, a group of 3 large islands and then a bunch of itty-bitty small ones all over the place that each have their own names and such. It is land filled with scaly races, mainly Yuan-Ti, Dragonborn, mainly chromatic Dragonborn, kobolds, and the turtles.
And lizard folk.
They seem to... It's very tropical where they're from. The largest of the islands has a pseudo-rainforest in its presence. So it's a mixture of beach, coastal, and like rainforest temperatures over there. Depending on which island you go to, there's also like the various types of buildings and architecture stuff. The capital of the Cartesian Concordant is in this large fucking notebook somewhere.
The capital is called the Freeholdings of Cortusia.
Yes.
Get some of this written down later if that's cool.
Yeah.
It's on the main island of Ahutusa. Or Otusa.
Got that one written down actually.
And you know that it's mainly it's like a council. It's run like a council where they've chosen an electoral official to lead the council. And they mainly deal with trade. Anything else you reckon, Darren?
No, I think it's pretty accurate.
At least
Yes.
from your first run of notes, that is.
She's only doing like a few hours, 3 or 4 hours worth of sort of digging in the day. She's still spending a lot of it like just kind of keeping close-ish to Christine.
Okay. Then we've got Jeremy and Mim. Anything interesting on your first day? Or your second
I'd
major
like
day?
to go back to the Atheneum and try and find more information about this book.
Okay. Roll a investigation check.
This is the book. Which book in particular?
You know what book in particular.
What are you talking about?
The reading book. The one that you read.
The gnome slut. Smut.
You can find Gnome Smut in many places, Cyrus. You don't need to go to the Atheneum for that.
No, I'm well aware.
You have a look at you go and look in particular about like that type of book. You go look for it exactly. It's not in the place where you read it anymore. But when you do so, you have a look at like what those books are, and you can't really find anything. You know that there's books. Eventually, leads you on a chase. It's like it might have been cursed to make you read something, and you might have gotten something in return, very bad, potentially good. But either way, it's giving you a very unsettling feeling, as if you can't find any information, like, 100% about that book in particular.
Okay.
Anything else?
I'm just reading something real quick.
Okay.
Can't wait to get to the end of this, and it's like, hey Sam, what does your character do when no one shows up for the meeting?
I mean, I imagine what I'm doing is during the night.
Yes, it is, because you do this while you sleep.
He sleepwalks?
Technically.
Kind
I
of.
would like, after I leave the Atheneum, to attempt to cast Identify on myself to see if I can glean anything different.
Yeah. So in your spiritual body, you're trying to cast a spell, or when you wake up?
I was going to do it when I wake up.
Okay. Yeah, try. Roll me a spellcasting check. 19. Okay. You have a quick look over yourself. I just want to quickly read Identify when it comes to people, if it does anything with people.
What's affecting the object or creature, I think.
There's
I'm unsure about creature, though.
There's no curse, which is a good thing. You don't sense anything. Does he know about his feet?
I will say throughout the day, you realize at this point that you can, with some effort, you can telepathically communicate. Like you can use your telepathy feat now. You experiment with it throughout the day at some point, and you find out how to do it on purpose.
Yeah.
With the help of that, it does help you like direct it and understand how to do that a bit more.
Yeah. You realize that it might have been a gift from someone. You're unsure of the source, though. In particular, but
Yeah, that's far more concerning than what's gifted.
nothing else seems to be magically afflicting you apart from items like your bag of holding.
Alright, cool. Well, with that done, curiosity temporary sated, I will leave early to go to the place I said I would meet up with.
What was that exactly?
Sorry?
Where was that? I might have stepped out last week when you
Oh.
found the place.
They were just going to a cafe to meet. I will remind Osiris, just because to make it this easier than repeat last time, you said you were going to bring the rest of the party to meet up with them to talk and discuss whether they're coming. Also,
I
do
will
you,
say this,
they're
if
just
you
not
don't
there.
want to show up, you do not have to.
I mean, Annex would be there.
I mean, I'll go around and check all the doors. I assume people are going to be out, and that's just tough. You have to deal with it.
Renner would be around, so if you would have, like, she'd either be, like, at her and Christine's room or, like, the library.
Which day is this?
First day.
The third.
First day.
Then I would probably be in the smoke district.
Yeah,
unfortunate.
actually, you would. So yeah, who would like to go with Osiris? So Osiris, who are you asking to come with you if they're available?
I will go to everybody's rooms to see if they're there. If they're not there, too bad.
All right, Christine, do you want to go?
Probably just an initial shake of her head.
All right, I'm assuming Osiris a yes. Selena, you were gonna say yes?
Yeah, Selena.
Like,
right?
unless it's like a outward like push, I don't think she's gonna really want to do it.
Yeah, and Neurasian can't because he's not there. So the three of you go off to meet up. Oh yeah, you make your way out, and you go to the meeting spot. It's the same cafe from before. There is like the human waiter who was there before last time. Same person. You see them again. They look over and notice you and give you a wave as you start to approach. You can get a little table if you want to sit down and wait. If anyone wants drinks or food, they can order some stuff.
Yeah, it's just a quaint little thing in the market district.
It's just a cafe, yeah.
I have to indulge. I haven't had like nice food for a while.
Yeah, it's not. Don't know what that is, but it's not super expensive. It's just like it's meant to be like cheap, easy food to get access to. There's everything from pastries and cakes to like teas and stuff like that, and also heartier things like bread and rolls and like pies and things. You know, it's cafe/bakery foods.
I will order a pot of tea for the table for everyone to have, and ask if anyone else would like any food.
Yeah. I'm not so sure on the team, probably buy like a fancy little pastry.
Also, a thing for Annex, while you've been walking around, something's actually caught your attention.
Oh?
For the first time since you've left, people aren't really looking at you.
That's awfully nice.
Everywhere you've gone, being like hiding as a Kenku as you do, you still garner attention, as it's hard not to stand out with you. But walking through the streets of the Scholarly District and the Spark District, you don't, like, no one even bothers to look in your direction. You're just another person walking down the street. This might come to surprise to you until you see people wearing like a cloak that is constantly changing colors, or like a hairdo that is just kind of flowing in the wind constantly, and you're like, okay, this place is kind of weird.
Gislanian fashion.
Yeah, so you don't really garner that attention that you're used to everywhere else. Whether that's a positive or a negative is up to you.
Definitely a positive. Definitely a positive.
Yeah, they're too busy thinking about themselves.
And after a little bit, Chef Girl RD can arrive.
May I?
Awesome.
You
Thank you.
You're not allowed to go away.
Yeah, no, I'm going to walk up to their table actually carrying a tray with some herbal grey tea.
Ooh.
This
More
is why
free
I was
tea.
trying to get it tested first.
So yeah, as you all are sitting there waiting, Osiris, you already know them, but the other two, you see this female Leonin walking up carrying this tray with some tea on it and stuff.
Not the most modestly dressed, but yes.
Alex just gets up and goes to tackle the cat and just yells out, "Female kitty!"
Go for it.
Attack them. Make a athletics check, Annex.
Yep.
This is just to see if you knock her over and she drops all the tea. All right, it's a 4. All right, Chef Girl ID, roll
Failing.
a athletics or an acrobatics check and get above a 4.
Sorry for the noise. This is damn. Yeah, so I fall over and a loose note will fall out of my pocket.
All right, she's fail. So yeah, you run into a
And
tackle.
I guess I'm
let's say.
soaked in tea.
Yeah, you drop the tray. It clatters everywhere. What were there cups on the tray?
Yes.
Were they like wooden style cups that would be
They
good
were
for
wooden.
traveling? Okay, yes, they clattered to the ground and they spill tea everywhere, but luckily nothing breaks. But yeah, the note comes out.
I'll just drop it if anyone wants to pick it up, or do you want me to just...
If anyone picks it up, then you can share it. But for now,
Before will come and help clean the tea up, but she probably won't notice the note.
So, glad to see you came back, Tortle. And,
Well, yeah, I'm
you brought
largely
friends?
interested in what you have to offer.
Yeah, I see you brought some of your friends with you.
Sorry about your tea.
I'm going to get a fucking pillow. Yeah, so, I miss looking towards Annex here. Can I get up?
Oh, yes, sorry. Annex will get up and over her hand and goes, "I'm Anexara. You're like a female Chakuvra."
Yes, that would be my brother.
That makes sense. You know what? That makes sense.
That is kind of why I approached your turtle friend there.
Someone to send a message out to him. Hopefully we'll get a response soon.
Well, that would certainly be welcomed. But I believe I offered something else to the turtle as well. If he had not spoken to you, that is all right.
Now, this is your prerogative to talk about.
Yeah, child. In the background, you're sitting there like having a nice day, trying the tea, drinking, eating pastries. You know, you sit down at the table, and then just like a toddler runs past the place, completely naked, just screaming. Ah!
Oh, God.
The mother is like chasing after me. No, 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 no! As they run down the street, they like almost
With-
run in front of a cart, but the mum just grab them and pull them back at the last
with,
second.
Like with a wooden sword, like a cardboard.
Oh, yeah.
Like a cardboard. Like this is my sword.
And he has
I'd like
a
to
leash
cast
except it's
banishment.
been like let go.
Do you have banishment?
No.
Too bad. Yeah, like an uncontrollable child running through the streets, making noise. Distractions
What's
ensue.
with child distaste?
That's fair.
Lost.
Oh no! It's a child. It has like half a hit point.
It's gonna be a dead child soon.
That's fucked up.
Is it really though?
Yes.
Yes.
You know what, fair?
Is,
Crisscross.
Sure.
Just waiting to see if Sam is it still happening.
I think he's going to go straight for the child.
I think he's just gonna go
Alright.
tell people off.
We'll come back to this, I guess, in a little bit.
Pause. Annex, are you doing anything else during the day?
Just kind of gonna be working on kick-up lines
Okay.
for a devil daddy and playing with her on still attempting to make friendship.
Roll me a charisma check and then follow up with her intelligence.
Alright.
This one doesn't care about your shit.
Charisma and then intelligence, you said?
Yeah.
Oh.
You say the cheesiest fucking pickup lines like, "Hey, are you an angel? Because you've fallen from heaven." And to you, that's like the sexiest thing you've ever heard.
Oh yeah, no, that would be the sexiest thing she's ever
The
Should
otter,
have just failed the charisma, like intelligence.
the otter stares at you, disappointed in his eyes, but with the capability to do nothing. And but what?
That's torture.
She's like saying them to the otter, like trying to get his opinion, and he just stares at her and she's like, alright, yeah, you know what?
That's a good pickup line.
I agree, that is a good one, I'm gonna write that down.
He just stares. He does not. He doesn't make any reaction, positive or negative. He just watches as you write that down. He tries to escape at some point, and you just summon him back because he has no will of his own.
Yeah.
He gives up at some point trying to escape, and he continues his life in endless torment.
As we go back towards lunchtime, after gaining yourself and explaining her situation, Chef Galardi is basically like, so if it wouldn't trouble any of you, I would like to join your group in hopes of finding my cousin.
I mean, I got no problem with that.
I don't see a problem with that either. Osiris?
Is nobody else confused by the odds of finding Jakuva's relative here?
Who cares? It's a female kitty! She just starts rubbing her cheeks.
I think they've stopped. I can actually
Yes.
speak.
I am also confused.
You can continue.
I mean,
I'll let them
I'm-
talk while I just pick up the note. So
yeah, he never really spoke much about his past, so I mean, he must have family. It must be.
He
Yeah,
wouldn't exist if he didn't have family.
That's
Exactly.
not what I'm concerned about, though. It's very apt timing, is all. Like, I personally don't mind. It's just very coincidental.
Or maybe it's just the work of a higher, better power.
if
Maybe a very sexy higher, better power.
you aren't expected to trust me, I just simply ask. That is all.
I personally am quite happy to let you accompany us, and we can hopefully find Jakuva soon.
Yes, well, if you want to discuss it with anyone else that you might be with, I've got to get cleaned up.
Understandable.
Unfortunately, herbal tea doesn't really go well with fur until you wash it out.
You want help with that? That was kind of my fault.
It is your call, young one.
Yeah, I'm pretty young.
Well, sure, I'll cover the local, whatever the hell they have, bathhouse.
Yeah, in the merchant ring, there's places to clean it. There's no like big open bathhouses.
You just
But
whatever.
there are
I can
places,
find,
yeah.
really.
There are places to go get cleaned off.
Yeah. So
For
I
those-
guess if Alex wants to come with me for that for a bit, sure.
Yeah, the two of you go off to clean up Chef Giladi, leaving Osiris and Selena sitting at the cafe.
Hmm.
I guess I can understand why you're a little concerned. I feel like we've been
Well, we've been burned in the past. We've been
Exactly what I was
nice to
going to say.
others.
I guess we
But
just
hey, I was approached and questioned, so it's not like the idea was already out there for someone to stumble upon at an opportune time.
we'll just make sure if they are traveling with us, if everyone's okay with it, that we just keep tabs, unlike last time.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I had organized this, and the people who didn't want to come today, I don't want to make it seem like that I'm trying to forfeit their vote. But if they don't want to be included, then it makes it difficult.
I have no idea where Nerisian is, but Christine's been very quiet lately. I'm not too sure. I think she's just still grieving.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
why I try not to push the subject.
Just thinking as well, have you had any luck on finding anything about the prophecy? I know it's only been a day.
I had something else on my mind for last night, but later tonight I can have another look.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Again, there's no rush. I'm just... I don't know. I'm just stressed out about it, I guess.
No, that's fine. I'll have a look and I'll see what I can find.
Should we stay here for a while, or were you planning on heading back?
I got nothing else planned for the rest of the day.
I really like the tea here, so I think I might stay for a while.
Yeah. You guys spend as much time as you want to. Food out here isn't expensive. This is like usually meant to deal with people who can't go up into the Spark District where things are way too expensive. So in terms of cost, it costs you maybe 5 silver for like the tea and the pastries and everything. It's not, whichever one you want to pay it, it's 5 silver. And eventually you, I'm assuming, make your way back to the academy.
Yeah.
As you're traveling back, you do notice that quite a number of people in the streets, even like not so many in the smoke area, but like through the Spark District and whatnot, people are setting up stalls and things. You've seen this been happening over the last few days as well, but it seems to be ramping up more as it gets closer to the New Year's. Some celebration is clearly coming up soon.
Just for anyone to know, this is like you all know about this, except maybe Annex. Like you know what the ceremonies are, but we'll explain more of them later.
This is the same thing as, like, that was going on before, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just building up more because like people, it takes days to set up like for a festival and stuff.
Yeah,
It's not just something people can do
Important thing I
overnight.
wanted to buy.
Alright. Does anyone want to do anything before we transition to the last day of the year?
I'm good.
I'm still doing my stuff.
Yep.
I think if we're heading into the evening, I might have a scene with Christine.
Go for it.
So I'm assuming we're staying in the same room or close to.
Yes, she
Yes.
is at the tallest tower of the keep, and you are somewhere in the dorms.
I've been
working
spending a
on-
lot of time up there anyway. Like I just sort of hang out there, just sort of quietly read and whatever.
She'll let you 100%, but a lot of the time she's just gonna be quiet. She won't really like say or do much. She's like kind of trying to keep herself probably just closed into her own space. but she acknowledges you and like will listen to you.
Yeah, like Selena would just be going there to like sort of just sit in silence, just
Yeah.
keep an eye on her.
But she's probably like sitting at her desk. Like you probably noticed like when you first came in, like the other day, when you were all brought in, like the desk was still just as messy. She's probably like cleaned it up a little bit more now. All the books on her bed have been put away. The bed's properly like made. She's just sitting there and just kind of making sure that like she's working. She's kind of picked up on what she left off, almost as if she hasn't stopped. But yeah, that's really all she's doing.
Yeah, she just like knock on the door and
She's like, yeah, she'll stand up, go to the door, open it. Do you see like ever since the whole incident which happened, she's like opening the door slightly and just looks through it every time.
yeah, that's fair.
She notices it's you, then she opens it up a bit more.
Have you eaten?
She sort of looks and thinks, no.
I brought something back from the cafe if you'd like it. It's just a little cake, but thought it might be good.
There's a slight smile there, and she's like, thank you.
Sugar's good for studying. I bought something the other day. I was wondering if I might give it to you now. I didn't steal a plate. I wrapped it up. I didn't steal a plate. Don't listen to him. I didn't do it. Alright, anyway.
I ain't no criminal. Yeah.
So I pull out a pendant. That's just, I'm assuming it would just be like in a little, like, material bag or something like that. Did it come in? I never really discussed that side of things. And I have like two of them, so I've pulled them out. They're matching Duskbloom pendants.
Yeah, she just looks with a bit of a questioning look, just curious.
I don't know if you know much about Duskbloom fields, but I did a little bit of studying about them when we were on the land burner. And apparently, of a night, they glow silver and the purple of a day. And I just think that it would be a really nice place to go and get away from everything. So I've sort of held on to the fact that maybe one day when this is all over, I could just go there and be at peace. And I was wondering if you would like to do that as well.
On that like sort of last like bit, she just sort of, it's like the it's almost like that look of like a bit of shock, like that like is like I like really like, but like in the sense of like she just is still trying to process that.
I know that it's a long shot, and we're going to be traveling for a long time, I believe, but it's just a little hope of mine, and I just thought maybe if we just take this and we can use it as a sort of a hope.
You sort of see like there's not much sound, but like her eyes like do start to water. She's like, she'll reach her hand as well towards one of them. Pick it up. Just holding it in the open hand. Looks back to you. And just starts crying.
I'm really bad at this. I wasn't supposed to make you cry.
Yeah. She then like sort of moves towards you, gives you a hug. It's probably one of those which she is not the first to let go. And yeah, like takes it. So it's like a pendant that goes around her neck, right?
Yeah, it's just like it's a simple like metal.
Yeah.
Pen. It's just, I guess it's been like painted to give it the color.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like
it's not.
would you say more so like in the upper thing of her neck or a bit lower, like where it's...
It'd just be like just a normal sort of like hangs to like the collarbone, maybe. Just
Okay.
like a normal length. It'd probably only be on like a leather rawhide chain or something like that.
Yeah, because she you know already that like she wears her arcane focus as a necklace as well. Like it's probably longer than that one, obviously, but like it's like a
Yeah.
very long cord, so she can actually hold on to it and cast spells. But
I mean, you could always
Yeah.
change the cord anyway. So
no, she will put it on like there and then.
will Selena.
Yeah, like the whole time it's like there's emotion, but there's reluctancy for words.
That's fine.
She's just like not quiet now, but not vocal. And yeah, like what happens after that? Do you just
After she's like settled down and everything, she'll probably just happily like just read and like spend time with her, but like not try to push for conversation.
I think she would then like where you're sitting, you just see like on another chair, or like you're just sitting like on the floor, or
On the
like,
chair or on the floor. You're just on the chair.
and then that should probably just for a few like seconds close her books, put stuff away, and then she'll probably just sit probably just on the floor next to you, like on like leaning on the chair, just in a bit of a just look down, I guess. But you can probably roughly tell that she's a bit confident. But yeah.
Goals.
So yeah, unless anyone else has anything they want to do this night.
Alright. We transition to the last day, the second
Of the year.
Second sun, 31st of Musi, 903. This day for Ghislaine is a lot more preparation. It seems to be in full swing. Everyone's getting stalls fully presented. They seem to be getting stock taken out from things. This is present in every district except the castle. But you have a feeling there might be something going on there. Who knows? There is no one in the library today. There is no staff. In fact, the library is closed for the time being. It seems all the students and staff of the Ghislaine Magical Institute are no longer present in the building. And you have a full day to explore stuff before the evening events take hold. Also, the Duskbone pendant art was made by Tez, and it's really pretty.
Thanks again.
My heart's sank.
Thank you,
That's
Tez,
why-
for the great art.
I've had like no life over the last couple of days. All week.
Weekend a bit.
I thought that was a pen. I thought that was a flower.
Yes,
It is a flower.
It is.
Osiris, Jeremy's had some stuff to go into, so he may or may not come back.
Oh no.
I have. I'm gonna take a peek around town, see if anything in particular picks up my interest.
You
And
see,
when
which part of town?
I haven't actually been up out of the smoke district, so probably anywhere but the smoke district.
You see as you're walking around in the upper sections of the city, there seems to be a large stage being made. Probably somewhere in the scholarly district towards where the temples for the gods lie. There seems to have a whole variety of people, mainly like Goliaths and Dwarves, quickly setting up this stage. There seems to be a bunch of magical practitioners casting spells, making lights, etc. More in the Spark District than anywhere else. You see all the mage stores seem to have something magical going on. There seems to be effects or items being presented, and they all seem to be shown off like their magical capabilities.
Okay. I would like to perform for a little bit and see if I can get any money. Because I've got little to none, sadly.
Where would you be performing?
Obviously not where they're building the stage, because they're building the stage. It kind of it'd kind of be stealing someone's show. So I'd probably go to the Market District if there is one.
Yes, yep. You go all the way down past the Smoke District to the Market District.
Wait, the Market District's past the Smoke District?
Yes. The Market District
okay.
rings this True Hills society that Ghislaine is.
I'll perform once in the Market District, and then I'll perform maybe once again later tonight at the Spark District and see the difference.
Alright, make 2 performance checks.
Okay.
Chef Galadi, you'll be able to watch this one in the Market District, but you will not be able to abscond any further tiers of the city.
If you do try to move
will
up...
use my inspiration on the second roll.
Go for it. I'll say, anytime you've tried to move up from the smoke to a higher district, you are stopped by guards there, who basically, aside from telling you to stay back down in the smokes, if you're like, I want to go through, they're like, yeah, we'll do some magic. Huh? Do it.
Yeah, that's about right.
The 16 is for the market, and the 22 is for the spark.
During the day, you get a lot of... during the day performance, you get a little humdrum of money. You get a little bit, maybe 5 gold total from numerous folks. They seem to be amped up from the energy that is going to be tonight, and they are more than willing to share a bit of it. During the evening, it seems that the professions are in full swing in the Spark District, and you haven't seen any buskers up here. There doesn't seem to be anyone performing, and you're like, this is prime real estate. You'll be able to get plenty of money here. A lot of people seem to like turn their nose up at you. You maybe get 2 silver, 2 to 5 silver, but you don't get much up in the Spark District.
What fucking cunts.
Yeah.
I'll then go over like what I have. And what time do the magic shops stay open till?
Everything is active for the entire night.
Cool. I'm gonna go and look at a magic store.
Okay, you find... What are you looking for? Trinkets? Weaponry? Wondrous items? What exactly?
With my feet, it says I get a ritual book. So, I'm going to get a ritual book.
That is going to be handled at a later time, so you do not get a ritual book now.
Okay. Yep, fair enough. I'm just gonna look at their wares and see what they got.
Yeah, you see tomes of spell books with basic first level spells there. You see non-magical books, but about arcanic circles and runes and how to prepare them correctly. In different stores you see just trinkets with slight magical effects on them. Then you've got full-on wondrous items that have been locked up in glass cases in front of on the stores here. There's a whole variety of stuff to look around for.
I'll go up to the shopkeep and
Which
day there.
store? These
What?
are all different stores. This is not in the Spark District. Every store here is a magic store.
oh.
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna look at which store seems to have the most high-end stuff.
Probably the one residing store.
Cool. I'm a case the joint.
You have a look at this. When I say store, they're like stores, like they're wooden partitions at the front of a major storefront. They seem to have stock going in and out of the building, but they're set up in front of basically in front of their things is like their street vendors for the day.
Okay, so they're stalls, not stores. Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'll go up to the wondrous item and I'll ask. Yes, hello. What wares do you have for sale? I'm quite interested. I've just started I've just recently noticed that I have some sort of, and I cast my mage hand right in front of their face, and I'm like, yeah, I've recently learned how to do a little bit of magic. I was wondering if you have anything that could help advance my studies.
You have a look as this, I'd say probably a blue scale dragonborn starts chortling. You've only just recently learned how to use mage hand and you want to be able to become stronger. Sadly, I believe these items will be a little far out of your price bracket, my friend.
Don't sell me short. I could probably come up with something. Maybe a quid pro quo sort of deal.
What exactly do you have that I could not get myself?
I rummage through a bag, and I bring up the I bring out 1/5 of an iron ingot. And I found this really particularly rare metal. Apparently it's very good for it's very good for infusing magic into. I just can't really part with it because of such potential in this item.
Yeah, deception.
Maybe a
check.
trade.
No deception.
Nat 20, please.
No!
He looks at you, he's like, oh yeah! He picks up like a plank of wood, transmutes it into iron in his hand. Like this?
Transmutation. Is it? No.
Holy fucking shit! Where did you learn to do that? It's just like immediately I drop the iron. I'm like, well, there goes my fucking ruse. You know, look, listen.
Yeah.
I'm an acquirer of certain goods. Maybe I could acquire something for you in trade. If you have your eyes on anything.
How about you acquire gold for my goods?
I got do you have anything in the 2-digit range?
No.
Low 2-digit range.
No, none of these stores up here would have that, no. Maybe the potion seller? For some healing potions?
Why do I get the distinct impression you're trying to shoo me away from your business, sir?
Maybe because I am too rich for your blood.
Sort of squints, cocks my eye. Too rich for my blood, eh? What's your name?
He just looks at you, he's like, I don't think you need to know that.
Oh, I'm a customer. I would like to know your name.
Buy something first, then you're a customer.
Right now,
Hmm.
right now, you're just standing in front of my store, stopping business. As you turn around, you see a tiefling couple, like, dressed to the nines, like, peering over you, trying to see what the guy's got, but you've sort of been bouncing all over the place trying to talk to this dude.
Fine. I leave.
Come back when
He
you
has
have
made
money.
my shit list. I will remember. I will remember the store, and remember the Dragonborn, and I'll begin to case the place.
Okay. How are you casing the place?
Obviously after the festival.
Okay.
Right now, it's time for fun. He's pissed me off. I'm gonna go try and find my friends.
Okay.
Is everyone else staying in the academy, or are other people leaving to go outside?
Yeah, you've got the day beforehand, and then you can the early evening. Is basically what the racing is just done here. So has anyone got anything for that time period?
I think I'd probably just go out for like a walk and just to look at some of the stuff that's set up. Not to buy anything in particular, just look around.
Once again, you just see all these stores being set up and everything. Yeah, you see all these stores, a stage being made in the Spark District, in the Smoke District. If you go through it seems to be the same thing. It's a lot less clean and a lot more rugged and breakable. And the Market District comes back to this splendor that the thing has before, but there seems to be an air of this is a little bit cheaper than upstairs.
I always would have been... I think the only time I would have ever really gotten a good look at the Smoke District was probably when I was leaving. So I feel like I would make a point of going through it and just sort of taking note of how the people there live and how awful it is.
Are you wearing a mask?
Yeah, I would have gotten something like just a standard cloth mask or whatever.
It's pretty much squalor. It's not the best. And it doesn't look around. Can you roll me a... I don't have streetwise anymore, which sucks. Roll me a perception check, I guess.
I think that would be perfect.
Streetwise is a good thing.
I'm just gonna use my inspiration on that one, actually.
Okay.
That's a little better.
As you're looking around, you don't you see a lot of buildings that some are more better suited for the area, and others that seem more sturdy and built, but doesn't seem to be very. It still doesn't seem to hold a candle to the other two districts of the city, the two major ones, and except for this one large building that stands close to the Spark District. It seems very clean, as clean as it can be. Looking in the windows, you see a bunch of people in robes, medicinal robes, and you can assume that this is the care house.
Oh, good. I take a look at it and then just avert my gaze and just keep walking, pretend I didn't see it.
Okay. Anything else in
Oh, cool, I
particular
think
you
we're
wanna
lagging.
visit? Huh? Hello?
Oh, no, I think you're good.
I'm hearing you fine. Oh,
Beep,
Terry's got 4 king pay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We'll pause her then.
I'm back now.
Okay, you're back now? Alright.
That was just massive lag.
I think that probably is still lag.
Yeah, no, there's probably some more lag.
All right, test. How's it going?
Can
What
you hear
the
me?
Yeah.
All right, sounds like we're good. That was weird. We randomly had a spike of about 5k ping. Don't know why.
It happens, especially when you're streaming.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, was there anything else you wanted to do, Tez?
Like after going and seeing like the stuff set up in the market ring, probably not. Like I just wanted to sort of go have a little look at the differences between it and just head back and stay in the general area of the Spark District after that.
Yeah, this would be generally pretty, like, at least a little early in the morning, because once noon has passed, that's when things start to like ramp up. And if you want to avoid the festivities, then you'd be doing this in the morning.
Yep.
Basically around the same time as about the same time as Norisian would be doing his performance in the Spark District is probably when you start returning to the Spark District. Though, given how big the Spark District is, it's possible you never even see him.
Can I roll for that?
Yeah, go for it. Make a perception.
What instrument are you playing, Jimmy?
Demi amused.
I am playing the trumpet because it doesn't give me disadvantage.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay. You can hear the duding off-centered from all the people speaking and all that, like the other majesty going on. Eventually, you find Norisian.
I'd recognize that duding from anywhere. I've heard it enough. Any luck?
I'm sorry, what?
I said you
Up
had any-
here.
Yeah.
Look, I've been rubbed off by this snobbish dragonborn. He's made my shit list. I'm going to rub the hell out of him. But apart from that, I've earned like 5 silver here and about 5 gold in the market district.
That's very typical of the Spark District, isn't it?
Yeah.
They would treat people like they will. Unless they're part of the scholars or the royal family, they'll treat them like they're dirt on their shoes.
Don't worry, this place is above us gods. And I give you a wink. So, how have you been going? Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I was just had some unfinished business in the smoke district.
We met someone who is apparently related to Jakuvra, who wants to come travel with us. That was interesting, and yeah, other than that, we've just been mostly keeping to ourselves.
How are you and the other lady holding up?
I'm okay. Christine will be okay in time. She just needs a bit of time. Honestly, the sooner we get away from here, the better. But I need to stay for something.
Need to talk to your dad?
No, definitely not. Well, I'm assuming there's going to be a funeral, and I'd like to stay for that.
I'd also like to pay my respects to the man. It seemed very honorable.
I won't be stepping anywhere near that castle.
Why is the reason for that?
If you'd known how it was and how it was when I left, you'd understand. They don't want me there. I give them nothing but sadness. And that's fine. I don't want to think about them, and I don't want to be near them, because they never really did much for me. And as much as I'd like to see my brother, at this point, I think interfering would probably be worse off.
I'd like to insight check, just to see how Selena's doing when she's saying all that. Yep. No.
I'd say with the 7, is he able to read you at all?
I mean, she's dealing with it. She's sort of not really giving much away, but she seems to be doing okay.
Artery, got it. Well, listen, if you ever need to talk, despite how little I am, and hard it can be to sometimes find me. I'm always here, always for Neil.
Thank you, Harrison. Are you going to continue busking for a time, or will we be heading back soon?
Now look, listen, I've actually never been in the Spark District before. I've only been in the Smokes, so this is actually quite new to me. Perhaps you can show me some good sights?
I can show you a bit, but honestly, I haven't been out here very much either. Court used to take me out for little trips when I probably shouldn't have been, but most of the time I spent in the castle.
Maybe we could convince Christine to come with us. You know, just take in the air of the festivities. Maybe the atmosphere will do some good for her.
We all have our coping mechanisms, but I think Christine needs just
Time
a
alone.
little bit of space. She needs just. I'll be there for her. I'll keep an eye on her, but I just think at this point she just needs time to think. So maybe we should just let her rest for now.
Okay. Well, I have no idea what actually is going on. Seems exciting. Maybe I can, for a lack of a better term, fill up my coin purse a bit, legal or otherwise.
You probably
And I give a
shouldn't
giggle.
steal from mages. They
And
will
they,
be completely inclined in hurting you in response.
now look, I have nothing against these gentlemen, and I'm pretty sure they have nothing against me.
Oh, they're just all terrible, honestly. But they're not. A lot of people here are not good, and you need to just be careful.
I'm not going to actively go out of my way to steal from people. I'm only going to go after the ones who wronged me. Like that prick. And I point over towards the blue dragonborn in the stall.
If you're going to, can you let me know first so I can maybe...
Help? Sure.
No, I'm not going to steal. No, that would be wrong. It's
Why would I steal when I could, prank?
just be careful.
I will. Don't worry, I'm a god. What can I do?
No sense of humor.
I'm gonna be following Celine for a little bit. And if we meet up with anyone else, that's cool.
As you walk around, you see a water genasi. I don't know. Air genasi just staring at the two of you as you're walking past.
I turn back and look at the air genasi. Hello?
Yeah, they just look at you for a bit,
Run away.
and they run. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I think shenanigans are afoot. If you'll excuse me, I triple dash after them.
I put my cloak up.
Okay. Make a dexterity check or athletics.
Contested, I guess, yeah.
Dexterity and athletics.
And you get advantage because you're triple dash.
Yeah, make them in the tower.
Here's the okay, yeah. Yeah. Here's the athletics. And here's the dexterity.
Just one or the other, not both.
Then the dexterity.
Okay.
You know what? Sure, I'll chuck that into because you asked.
Okay.
Andrew, just message me what they got because with so many things happening, so I gotta type things
Which
back
one are you
and forth.
choosing, Demi?
Dexterity.
Alright, so Dimmy, Nerisian, you go running off after this Edge Nasi who's just been watching you guys. For some reason, something in your head made you chase after them when they took off running. Fair enough, someone running is kind of suspicious. You go running after them, they like duck down a side street and everything, you jump through a stall, you trip over at one point, pull yourself back up, and as you're looking around, you can't spot an Edge Nasi at all.
Well, fuck. Sorry about your stall there. Is the blue dragonborns?
No. Just around
No,
themselves.
it's just it's a person looking at you. They were probably having like arts and crafts, and you just like leapt across the thing, scattering like cheap jewelry everywhere.
At this point, I'll go back and I'll help them pick up the cheap jewelry and I'll put it on and I'm so very sorry. There was someone very suspicious acting around. I think he might be stealing stuff.
Yes, you. Now give it back.
Ah, here you go. Not me. I give her back the jewelry and no, just an edge and Arcee. Gone like the wind.
I have not seen one.
Thank you. And I leave. I'll go and try and find this edge and Arcee.
I would have
Yeah.
been walking in the, like, sort of brisk walking in the direction, but I imagine I would have lost them.
It doesn't. It's not hard. It's actually pretty hard to lose Nerisian after he makes that kind of like debacle of a chase. They only go like 2 streets over, and you're able to quickly find Nerisian helping this person fix their stall up.
As soon as I catch up to him, he leaves again, and I'm just like,
Yeah, you can call out to him if you want.
She goes to, but like when he's run off, it's like
There's no
he's-
point.
She's just kind of like, okay, just keeps sort of like briskly walking.
Yeah, you spend some time running around Nerisian. Make an investigation check.
Tower or no tower?
Just straight into the chat. Searching around, you spend a while looking around. You're like checking alleyways, checking corners. Being a roguish fellow yourself, you tend to know where people hide and how to blend with crowds and whatnot. And you spend a good amount, at least like an hour, scouring the area around here looking for it. But you don't see a single trace of the Genasi.
Okay. At this point, knowing that I've thoroughly lost them, I'm gonna go duck into an alleyway, and then I'm gonna cast Disguise Self, and I'm gonna make myself a gnome, and I'm gonna a very lavish, wealthy-looking gnome, and I'm gonna walk out, dressed to the fucking nines. And I'm just gonna own it. I'm gonna go and fucking enjoy myself this evening. I've deserved it after all the shit I've done.
All right.
Okay. Well,
Christine, are you still staying locked in your room?
I mean, probably after last night, most of the day wasn't even at her desk. She's most likely spent a good bit of the day just kind of sitting beside her bed on the floor. Eventually, though, she would get herself up. She would head herself out of her room, head down, and I don't know. She's just kind of just being a bit of a wander today. Like, no, not really any goal in mind, but with everything being closed, she doesn't want to really just be the only person really in the university.
Yeah. And Annex, are you also going out to see everything going on?
Yeah, she'll just have a look around.
Yeah. Again, you see all these stalls in the market and the Spark District. There seems to just be a bunch of stuff being sold everywhere.
For me, it's probably more like idless wander, like just trying to I don't know, just do something, but not really thinking about where it is I'm going.
Okay. And Annex, are you going anywhere particular or just wandering around?
No, she's just wandering around.
As you do, you start to walk into the evening and it starts to become a bit darker. And as soon as you go out, you're assaulted by colours and sounds. People set up small fireworks and fire magic off in the air around them. As you walk down the street, the music all blends together, and there are dozens of different bands playing different tunes, all of them upbeat. Occasionally you move off to the side of the road and they're filled with people dancing. In a moderately sized square, you see benches and tables set up with a ring, people milling around. A line of people are waiting for a man with a slate as he appears to be taking names. Occasionally gold changes hands and people start to file in any of the dozens of seats. Large kegs are rolled into the square and it appears to be some sort of drinking game being prepared.
Huh.
And this will be for everyone to see at this point.
Remix will kind of stick around to the sides and just watch.
If Selena sees it, she sort of like wanders over, sort of in the hopes that maybe she'll find an Erisian there. Looking awkward because it's alcohol.
Looking around, you see different stores. You see a dunk tank. You see someone is playing Find the Queen, I think it is, but like the cup game with the dice. And you mixed around. You've got that. There seems to be a hammer slam. There's a couple of different people, mainly bards. They're running around with like easels and doing caricatures of people. There's an archery stand with moving targets to fire at.
Basically, this shit's a festival in full swing. There's food,
Yeah.
there's people crying out, selling everything from candied apples and fairy floss to muffins, cakes, cookies, skewered meats, pies, pastry. Basically, fucking everything under the sun, it's there.
It's there.
If you think of a dumb carnival game you've seen at some stupid random carnival in the middle of nowhere, there's probably one somewhere, and for some reason it's magic because Spark.
It's gonna be the clown head.
Okay.
Can't have anything but the clown heads.
Oh, those clown heads
No,
are
they're
there,
there.
except they're all like the clown heads are turning, except each of them is like a different kind of like genasi or tiefling stuff with various different like makeup on.
Yes, I love it. But also
And-
Weird.
Yeah, this shit
I'm
is
gonna-
everywhere.
I'm gonna try out some carnival games and see if I can fucking spot the scam and or win.
All right. Which game?
So
you wanna
everything's a
start
scam. It's pretty easy to spot.
with? Roll a scam check.
Perception.
Which one are you going to?
do
I'm
you
gonna
want?
go to the find the lady.
Alright, you see Tabaxi. She seems to have 3 turtle shells. Playing in front of her seems to be a Tabaxi one with like a scar over one eye. You want to play a quick bones game?
Well, yes, I actually do.
Stop that.
Oh, gnomish voices.
I don't know why
they're so bad.
Oh, that
You
hurt.
too.
I nearly choked.
Well, I continue to talk in very high-pitched sound, and I'm like,
Yep.
yes, I actually do. What's the ante?
It's one got to play. If you guess where the dice is, the red dice, because it shows there's 3 dice, two white, 1 red. If you guess where the third one is, the red one is, you win 10 gold, and you can get an additional 15 if you guess what number it is.
I'll just go for the standard find the red die.
Okay.
I put down 1 gold.
Yep. Roll a
S-
perception check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yep.
Fuck.
You can't keep up with the quick hands of Quick Paw. And then you're left with these 3 places, left, middle, and right.
Left.
As you reveal left, you see a white die. Bad luck.
Let's try again. Chuck another coin.
Okay. Disadvantage again. As you look around, you see that she's not as quick this time, and you see that it lands on the right.
Right.
Would you like to guess the number?
Nah.
Your loss. She opens it up, and you see the red die. and you get handed 10 gold. Now, Beatrice,
Cool.
two plays per person.
2 plays? Okay, very nice. I am take the 10 gold.
Mm-hmm.
33. Slowly getting my gold back. I'll go try out. Try out the longbow game. I'll try out the bow game.
Does anyone
You've done
else?
this one. Let's see. Anyone else want to do one?
I'll let other people do one first.
Yeah, Alex is more just observing stuff.
Christine.
Selena has absolutely no idea about any of this stuff, and she's sort of just like looking around, like, what?
Yeah, it's probably a bit
Where did
overwhelming for you.
Nerisian go?
It's
Where
prob-
is everybody?
It's probably a bit overwhelming for you and Christine, as the two of you are
Yeah.
rather sheltered, to say the least.
Yeah.
Drakazor's probably one hell of a step, entering into a city full of, like, it's overcrowded. This is the same kind of vibe of, oh my god, there's people everywhere and
But
there's
it's a
nowhere you can
festival.
get away. Except, like, the energy is also through the roof, so, like, the introvert in you is just crying.
Mood.
Yeah, so she's still looking around for Nerisian because she sort of lost him, and now she's a bit worried because it's like,
After an
Who
hour,
was
I
that
will look
air?
like Nerisian.
who was that Air Genasi? And like, what happened to Nerisian? And I can't seem to find him anywhere. And so she's kind of just like walking around, like in that awkward kind of like arms wrapped around, sort of hugging herself, like looking for people.
Could I try and find her?
Sure, it happens. Boom, done.
Eventually,
Wow.
yeah, eventually you see the other two as well. They're all sort of in the market district looking at this drink competition happening.
Hey, you two, how's it going?
Oh, there you are. Where did you go?
Oh, I got 10 gold. Played some carnival games.
Air Genasi gave you 10 gold.
Couldn't find them. Ran the fuck away. Must be a scared little bitch.
Okay. This is nice. You won 10 gold.
Yes, I played a game, and I won 10 gold.
Congratulations.
Would you also like to win gold? It's very easy.
How much is it?
I'm usually 1 gold for 10. Just note that every game is rigged.
Maybe
Somehow.
not then.
You can
I'll
rig it to your
just
advantage if you know how to do it.
watch. Not so good at the deception. I think I'm happy just
Enjoying
like-
the energy?
yeah. And Exara is observing asses? Or
Who is it?
Booty cakes.
Selena is not. She's like, there's a drinking game going on, and like when Nerisian's run up, she was like watching it like, what?
Yeah, you guys have been here for probably 45 to an hour at this point watching this. You've seen like a bunch of people signed a thing. A whole lot of people came down, sat down at these tables that are there. Like tankards of ale were poured. People started drinking. It's kind of captivating watching a bunch of people just chug like jar after jar after jar of alcohol. And like it's like one at a time, people like falling out of chairs or being dragged away. And in the end, after a while, there's like, and the winner of the first round, Sprog! And you just see like being like, lifted in the air, swaying very heavily, is another Tabaxi man who just kind of like almost falls off the shoulders. The person lifts him up. And they go, all right, the next round will be beginning in 15 minutes. Sign up, sign up.
Is Christine near me at this point?
Yeah, you can say
You can all find each
you
other.
can all find each other now.
Yeah, I would have like sort of sidled up to her and just been like, why are they doing that?
Sometimes terrible shit happens to people in life and they just want a drinking competition to forget about it.
As
You
you,
also
are,
get gold and money for it.
as you're saying, like, why would they do that? The camera just like pans along the group, and there's just like same Tabaxi man just vomiting in an alleyway, just like at the very edge of the camera.
It just makes them sick.
It's also an
Yes,
endurance.
that's the point of alcohol.
Isn't it also an endurance game?
Guess. Just, I don't know, wouldn't it be better
It
to
costs 1 gold to join.
lift things or, I don't know,
Alex is gonna join.
running?
after watching that first round.
Oh god, is she gonna drink?
Oh, no, hell no. I'm going in as well. Fuck it.
Alright.
It's one gold entry.
Yep, I've removed 1 gold.
While I do not have the disdain for alcohol, no.
How about you, Selena?
No, thank you. I
As
think
the
I've had like 1 glass of wine.
I just
Oh,
imagine people
fancy
like, who
bitch.
would ever do that? And then they just see Anixara walk up.
yeah,
One lonely red wine.
She's probably had wine at a few.
One Merlot, maybe.
You
Social
see,
gatherings.
you see as this dwarf man who's handling the event is like gets your names down, both of you, and you line up on like this table that's been for your group. Among you, there is a Goliath, a tiefling. Yeah, it's in the middle of the market square. Anyone can watch this.
Oh, if Artie's here, Anix will try to convince him to join us in the drink competition.
Artie is
as well.
currently not here as Artie.
Adi is the Genasi.
Adi is everywhere.
Oh, okay, the freaking.
Adi's a state of mind.
Whatever, chef girl? Was it girl?
Yeah.
Chef Girl Adi, that's the joke, yes. Okay. As you guys are sitting down and they're taking names and everything, they basically explain that if you somehow come first, it's 20 gold. Second place is 5 gold. And
You lose.
and otherwise, everything below that is you drink and probably have a bad time. Or you drink and have a bad time even if you win, really.
Yeah.
Is it free booze?
Yeah.
That's what the goal is
It's
for.
1 goal.
Hell yeah!
As you all start, as the deal starts, like, all right, everyone, let's get this ready. Now, drink. As the first round of things hits like the 5 or 6 people on your table. I'm gonna
Make
need
it a
you to
Constitution
make Constitution saving throws. Yeah.
Oh god.
Annex.
Oh no!
So Annex, you've never really had like ale before.
Yeah.
Or like beer or anything. You start drinking, it's not good. You take like a mouthful, and it's like you manage to force down the first jug, and you're like, why am I doing this? You don't feel too great. Neurasian,
It goes down the wrong part and I
Anix
choke.
is drunk, like full stop.
Luckily,
yeah.
everyone apparently can't handle the drink.
Wow!
And the dwarf just looks flabbergasted. Like,
How the fuck?
this is the piss easy beer.
It's a Goliath just like takes one.
It went down the wrong pipe. Can I try again
The
for another
Goliath
go?
is like, sorry, I'm only used to milk.
I don't need that
touching
right now.
Fucking useless Goliath, you are!
I don't need that right now.
I don't know what you're talking about, Christine.
You're gonna fucking make me go chaotic.
Yeah,
If everybody else is like bitching out, if Anix can take another just to win, she will do it.
did everyone lose the first
Yeah.
round?
No one,
Oh my god!
no one rolled more than they say necessary. He's like, drink again, I guess. Second.
Okay.
The worst part is that I could actually do this with my con save.
Neurasian, you can't drink again. With a nat 1, you're like just coughing and spluttering and everything. So Annex, if you can roll higher than everyone else, you win. So try again.
Oh my
Okay.
god!
Roll the rest of the magic.
Someone else immediately gets taken out, but the Goliath, after having his drink, comes back up with a nat 20, is able to chug this milk. You know what? This is better the second time around.
Yeah, Annex, you totally agree. This is way better the second time around.
And
just
it
burns
will
the
like
taste
go
buds
sit
off.
closer to the Goliath and just like start casually chatting with them while drinking.
So the tiefling falls out, and it's just the Goliath and the true Tabaxi left, and we're going to the second round.
Okay.
Go again, Annex.
Yep. What? That was good.
Nice.
Again, one of another Tabaxi falls down, and the two Goliaths, the Goliath and the other Tabaxi, are drinking alongside you. And it's all seems to be fine and dandy for the lot of you.
Yeah,
For-
Anix will just start up a casual conversation with the two of them, having a good time.
For Selena and Christine, you guys have just seen like the first round
Yeah.
of drinks was horrible. From what your opinion? If you don't have a high opinion of alcohol, you watch Neurasian descend into coughs and splutters. and basically everyone at the table either failed to finish their drink, and now everyone except like Neurosina just stumbled off.
Selena's just like,
Jesus Christ.
I get a little bit lightheaded when I have like a bit of sparkling wine. Like usually after about half a glass, I start feeling a little lightheaded. It's not really my thing.
I mean, wine is
No,
more
it's alright.
concentrated.
It's usually very good. I just it went down the wrong pipe and I choked and ate shit. So
Okay.
You all start hearing it's like, alright, looks like we're left with Gilsander and our friend Anexara with the last round of the drink, and it's just you and the Goliath now.
I am
Just me and the
surprised.
Goliath.
I would like to
Don't.
Before they take the
minor
next drink,
illusion.
Annex looks at the Goliath and puts a hand out and goes, "This is my first time drinking. How about you?"
I only ever drink milk.
Wow.
You meet a kindred spirit after as he looks just as confused in the situation as you probably are.
That's a cool. That's definitely something to smile at looking at that. Even
Annex is 6, thank you very much.
yeah. She
What's
could-
wrong?
Probably
it's
not.
like going good, man.
Can I somehow influence the wind?
No, you are intoxicated. With your now
Oh,
one,
boy.
you're out.
You're gone.
No, I was gonna cast Mage Hand and maybe tickle
With
the
your
Goliath underneath the
with
nose.
your nat 1, you're out.
Fuck.
If you rolled anything else, I would have let you try, but in that one, no. You're too in a bad way.
As the lot of you start drinking, both of you drink, and then you, like, slowly but surely you both throw up. As this last one is too much for both of you, but you stop
Wow.
throwing up and you get up first, and you raise your mug in the end. He's like, I guess she wins! He rolled a 2.
Oh.
Oh my god.
See, the worst part is that I hate how good I'd actually be good at this sort of thing.
However, Anexa, you are also intoxicated at this point.
Yeah. I would like to spend the rest of the night hanging around with that Goliath.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
hang out with Gil Thunder, and it's a fun
Made a
time.
friend.
You also get 20 gold. And he's,
Hell yeah, I really did not think I was going to win this.
and he looks
No,
at
no.
you, he's like, the dwarf looks at you, he's like, if you want to come back for the champion round that will be happening right before the ceremonies begin.
And it gives him like 2 thumbs up, almost falls backwards, then goes hangs out with Guilford.
I don't think she is coming back, ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on? As you all start moving away, you see new people moving up to the tables. There's like a fawn hops up onto the stool. There's Genasi's and just people in general. Everyone fills the tables out every time. There's a big crowd waiting to join in.
Gold's 20 gold, I guess. But,
Yeah. I don't want to go near that, I feel.
Running past as you're like, no. It's just like you just see like a fire Genasi who's just shit-faced going, woo! Like no shirt on, just firing like you like finger blast a flame into the air.
Will you be participating in the champion competition, Mim?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely will.
What are the rest of you guys gonna do for up until probably around 11:30?
God, out of character, I really want to fucking do it. In character, it's no. Yeah.
I'll go up to
I've never felt so
Steve and
conflicted.
You roll me a
Selena's
D4.
like,
Me?
No, Dimitri.
Okay.
I don't think you understand how out you are. You are unconscious out. Okay, 3 hours later. This is probably around 11 o'clock.
so if he's passed out, just randomly on the street,
You guys.
Selena isn't gonna just leave him there. Like, she's gonna...
I would.
I should probably take him home.
In my mind, he's not literally unconscious. He's that kind of you're drunk to the point where you're basically unconscious but still
Everything's
standing.
a blur.
Like, they're just, like, walking
so
around.
black and drunk where you can't remember anything.
Yes.
Being like, oh, not drunk.
You know, it makes sense that the person who was probably 3 feet tall got real wasted off drinks made for Goliaths.
But, you know, like, the 6-year-old Arakocra girl.
Yeah, 6-year-old is fine though.
Yeah, you see Nursin being dragged off by the Genasi that you saw before.
Uh.
Like to like a bench, not like away. It's like you're just moving him to a bench.
Oh, because I was about to say.
I'm gonna grab out the trumpet and drunken dirt.
Make a performance check with disadvantage.
12.
You breathe in half the time. It makes a weird sound.
I'm just gonna not pay attention to him anymore.
What was that, Christine?
I'm just not gonna pay attention to him anymore.
Alright.
Fair enough. Yeah.
If I think like
Wait.
someone else,
Hang
like,
on.
is it the air genasi that I saw before?
Yes.
Okay, if I saw that, I'm just gonna like approach them.
You walk up.
If
So you walk up, there's Nerissina sitting there. You're walking up.
You see that Nursing is trying his hardest not to retch inside of his trumpet.
Oh, darn, that would be a horrible sight. Just like the chunks coming out the end of the trumpet.
Darian! Darian! Stop!
disgusting.
You'd never clean it. It'd be impossible.
Stop! That's no.
Yeah, just approach it. Nurse, maybe don't do that. Just you'll thank me later. And she just like gently takes the trumpet off him.
Okay, as you take the trumpet off, I get off the bench and I'ma do one of these.
Wonderful.
Please explain for the people not in this
If you
Discord.
check the
Oh,
chat.
he's doing the Homer drunk dance.
Yes. Remember, Dimmy, this is streamed.
As
Homer
his,
Simpson drunk.
as his Homer Simpson drunk dancing, you look at this Air Genasi who is still there.
See.
Okay.
Helping my friend. I don't think we've met.
Chunky trumpet noises, ill.
Yes, no, we have not quite met, but good tidings upon you.
Thank you again.
Is he your acquaintance, friend, partner?
First one.
Not that. Just travel companions.
Fair enough. Well, I shall be on my way. Have a good night.
It's
And
just
enjoy
way
the
too awkward.
please.
You too.
I
She's
give
like-
that. I give a. It's meant to be a peaceful smile, but it could be ominous.
It's like way too awkward to like
I-
ask what was going on before if she recognizes that it was you.
I have a question, Ajar, or Darian. Have I been
Someone-
noticing like any familiar faces like from the university just walking around or like
Yeah, there's a bunch. You see a lot of people around your age, slightly younger than you. They're all participating in like beer runs, going to different pubs, getting drunk, etc. You see a couple of them play games. You don't see any of your personal friends. They might not be here at the moment.
Yeah,
but you
that's
see
just-
you see people that you recognize. Yes.
Okay, yeah, she's kind of like notices people like sort of her age walking around. She like looks kind of just in different directions, seems she can notice something, but she obviously doesn't. Then she just kind of turns her attention back to Selena and Mercian. She also, just to give note, I don't think she brought her cloak with her. I think she just kind of walked out just with what she normally wears. Like she's not, her appearance isn't being hidden at all, which is probably not a good thing for her, but she wasn't really in the mood to kind of think about that. But yeah, she'll just kind of just follow along, like just kind of watching everything happening. Still a bit in confusion as to what the hell even happened with Anaxara, but somehow partly like impressed, considering she's 6.
Beat a Goliath in a drinking competition.
Yeah, exactly, which is it's surprising. But yeah, like from this whole thing, like she's gone around from like just being a bit like to like actually having a bit of a smile and just kind of wandering around.
As you do that, the night steadily approaches, and then you Yeah, alright, it's time for the champion round. We have our 5 contestants who have withstood the drinks of the past, but this time they're a lot more dangerous. And he pulls out like shot glasses.
Get the rum.
And he looks at you, he's like, now the grand prize will be 100 gold coins.
Oh.
Yeah, do you sidle up, Annex?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright.
Right, roll me a constitution saving throw.
So I'm
You sit
waiting for
down.
that one.
I'll say the people you.
Wow.
Oh.
So you sit down at this table, and there
Can I
is-
use my inspiration on her?
Yeah, you technically can.
I'll do that.
Do you want to do it? Okay, roll again, Annex.
That's better.
Alright, so you sit.
Amazing, better.
When you walk up this table and sit down, you notice that there's that tabaxi you saw at the beginning, Sprog. You also see the fawn from before, and then 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to remember who it was. And then just like 2 humans.
Jim and Dave.
Where's Craig?
As you begin, both Jim, Dave, Sprog, and yourself all throw up, leaving the little fawn, half your size, chugging, like going for shot after shot.
That's amazing.
Yeah, just like before, you got kind of used to the ale after you had a couple drinks before. This is the opposite. It's like you're drinking fire. It's horrible.
Oh, fire.
It's like no, it's like drinking. Honestly, it's not like fire. It's like you just drank Jägermeister, expecting it to be like whiskey.
Oh no.
It doesn't go down well, and it comes up
Flashbacks.
worse.
Oh god, Jaeger, Jesus.
We have our winner, Gilly! And she stands up and like everyone cheers for her. And our second place, Anexada.
Wow.
'Cause you were the last one to throw up.
Yeah.
By 1 point.
Aww.
And
me.
you get handed
You're welcome.
30 gold for your second place
Hell
prize
yeah.
on top of what you won last time. And Gilly gets the sack of 100 gold. At which point...
Can,
What?
can
I
at
was
this
just gonna-
point, Naristian climbs up on the table and maybe starts dancing again.
Can I like restrain him?
It's not
Carefully.
hard.
Restrain him? I don't think I can. Oh,
If he goes to, like get up and do something stupid and dangerous, she's gonna try and get him to sit back down again.
As
Make
you...
it-
Yeah.
As he starts to move, I'd like to. No, I don't have it. No, I do. I'd like to cast suggestion.
Do it. I love suggestion. Hey, Dimmy, make a wisdom saving throw disadvantage.
Well, first thing, I suggest you stay where you are and don't make any more scenes. Stay still. No.
9. Yeah, you fail. That's a great idea, Timmy. You could just sit right here.
This is the best thing.
She's like trying to give him water.
Joe Naristian, this bench, it might be wood, but this bench was made for your ass.
You know what? Fuck it. I get on the bench. I do that thing where, like a cat, where you just once, twice, and I just sit down and start falling asleep on the bench.
As you see, as Nexara slowly like just walks over and also just starts lying on the bench, her head over her hands.
Alex would go find her Goliath friend and cry to them about how milk is a much better choice.
Yeah, Gilthunder is still reeling from what happened before. He's just chilling on another bench. Eventually you start hearing like noise being projected. All the music seems to stop and like all the chatter seems to pause as you start hearing around you
Bells.
bells. As then shortly after, within probably a minute, we gather round on the precipice of the new year to celebrate the light and life that the new year will present to us. Today we pray for the future to bring us new souls and for us to grow and nurture the opportunities that will come with us, the hardships that we will overcome, and the fruits of our labor that we will harvest and feast upon. We embrace the new year by first examining the new gathered life from the previous year. at this point, you just hear a list of names being read.
Okay.
It goes on for 5 to 10 minutes. And he pauses in for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, like all the names are read, and he's like, "With their new lives, infinite possible futures are open to them, and they'll follow the roads that we paved the years before, and they will do so the same for those who come after them." And then he continues to diatribe more like romantic-esque phrases about how life is good, thinking back how the future was going to be bright, etc. And then you hear, "And now we usher in the new year, and with it an explosive display of our potential futures." As the speech starts to finish, a series of loud whines fill the night skies from the market district where you all see, and you see lights of different colours illuminating the sky: reds, oranges, blues, pinks, and greens. They all fire off first into streaks of balls, and they explode and become larger in different shapes, like stars and circles. And that seems to proceed for like a couple minutes, and eventually it seems to dwindle as the final 2 are fired. Rapid succession. Doof, doof. 2 large blasts of deep purple fill the sky. Both of these fireworks form into similar shapes, a mirror, with a silhouette in each, one facing left and the other facing right.
As the fireworks go off, I sort of like stupor a bit, and go up and like, "Shut up! I'm trying to sleep!"
People look around at you with disappointment.
I then huck up on the floor, go back, try sleeping on the park bench.
A few people seem to like go, "Oh, okay, that's what's happening." Yeah, Alex, this is probably the first time you've ever seen fireworks.
Yeah.
What is it? What did you feel like? What does it look? How are you reacting to these explosive balls of whatever in the
Colour.
sky?
It's like 50% fear, 50% mesmerization.
Fear of the unknown.
All right. Everyone else, you're just like watching the nice display, dealing with Nerisian.
Selena's sort of like quietly kind of praying.
Eventually... Oh, sorry. Eventually...
JJ.
Sorry.
Calm down.
Continue talking.
Yeah, she's just like quietly praying, but she sort of like has like a sort of a bit of a sad look on her face.
Eventually, you once again hear the bells as you hear 12 strikes signaling the change of day. And then a new voice seems to emanate from something.
Dealing with problems. And now we look back on the past year. To those who've left us, to the trials and hardships we have persevered, and the growth we have shown for it. We should take one more look behind us, acknowledging those who we've lost. And again, this priest or priestess, you can't tell from where you are, they begin to start listing off names, dates of births, and dates of deaths. The reading goes on for quite a bit longer than the previous one, as in there's a bit of a small obituary with every so often. You hear hundreds of names you don't, 100 or so names you don't recognize. But in the midst of it all, you do hear Sir Court de Cheyne, born on the 19th of Vista, 856, and died on the 28th of Musi, 903. The hero Court de Cheyne, hero of the smokes, fell protecting the continent from threats of the north. His diligence to his country and the work he has done to elevate the less fortunate people of the fair city showed his character, and his presence will surely be missed by all those in the country of Gisla. A funeral in his honor will be held on the first sun of the next week. When the last name is read, there's a small pause is ushered, and the priest looks around once more. This past year and all the others that preceded, it should be looked on today. A day which we ponder decisions, actions, and choices from the past, and use them to reflect and guide us in the future. I implore you to continue on with the festivities, but do so contemplating the last year and look brightly into your future.
When I hear the name Court de Cheyne, immediately I feel like she should have been paralyzed. and then immediately started to run away.
Yeah, she takes off. What do the rest of you react?
Selena follows her.
Alright. Nursing, you're asleep on the bench, I assume?
Yeah, maybe. I'll be like
50-50 chance. You might be
I'm like chucking up like every other name, trying to sleep. Maybe trying to get it a little bit rowdy, but then I get the stink eye from Selena, and I just shut up,
Selena
try and get back
Gold.
to sleep.
You have that feeling in your head that maybe you shouldn't draw attention to yourself. That suggestion that just sounded really nice.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you just line there.
it did sound really nice. So
Oh,
I'll
actually, hold
probably
on. I'm gonna make a quick.
And Annex, what are you doing when they run off?
Busy with a new friend.
The glass just like looks at you and goes, I really don't like that part. It feels like it kills the mood a bit.
I totally agree. I don't want to hear about dead people. It's a Debbie Downer.
As you're saying that, and like this is about the same time where the speech is coming to an end, almost immediately like the music seems to swell back up, and all the festivities, which were already kind of insane, it's like if everything was at like a 7 or an 8 before, everyone just pushes it to like a 12. For the rest of the night, those who are still there, it's chaos in the streets almost, with singing, dancing, drinking. People quite literally take this as like a celebrate the life you've lived and also the life to come, so fuck it, let's get wasted and celebrate everything this moment.
Fair.
So yeah, however long you decide to stay out, if all night, if you want to, it's just pandemonium. What is
Yeah,
Here you go.
Alex will stay out like all night, and probably when she eventually has to leave her Goliath friend, she will probably cry about it. She
Yeah.
is drunk as all hell.
Yeah. Christine and Selena, what are you two doing as you run off?
I caught up to.
Yeah, I'd say like unless Christine will actively try to avoid you.
Active avoidance, and even so, like it's a lot is flowing through at that like one moment that she is just merging within like sort of dark, shadowy corners, and then you just see her step through the veil and then like teleport 30 feet multiple times. Like
Yeah,
she,
you hard time following her.
yeah, she will do it 1, 2, 3 times because she's going to use 3 of her sorcery points as a bonus action.
Just for me, roll on your
Go
table.
for it. Thank you.
You are very stressed, even without triggering your effect. The table is rolled.
Thank you. Very kind. Can I re-roll that? Can I use my Tide of Chaos to re-roll that?
What?
Sure.
Yeah.
Because
It seems like a fun. Just re-roll it. Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, you seem to, as you leave, as Sarah, you see her jump forward 3 different times. You see as she's sort of lifting like this radiant glow, and it seems to be affecting people as she's running past the crowd.
It's not like people aren't like changing anyway, but it's like all of a sudden Christine is like weaving through this crowd like it's nothing.
After sort of enough time, I sort of realize I'm not going to be able to catch up to her, so I just kind of stop and just like, is there anywhere that's sort of quiet with like a view?
Yeah, like these. Depending, like there's the market ring itself is on the lowest land around Ghislaine, so it's like you can still see up and see all of Ghislaine itself and everything around it. If you go out to like the edges of the market district, you can see over the smoke, or you could just pass to the smoke and go into the Spark district, and then boom, you have a great view again from a different angle.
I'll probably just sort of head to the outer edges of the market district and just look up towards like where the castle is.
Yeah, there's a lot of people doing the same. Like, especially in fireworks, you probably think that this area would be crowded with people watching the displays.
Yeah, I would have just found somewhere sort of like quiet off from her and just to sort of look up at it with like a mixture of sort of disdain and loneliness.
Actually, I'd like to do something.
All right, so 8 hours later, what do you want to understand?
When I wake up in the morning. Okay. First of all,
Well, it's 8 hours later because suggestion lasts 8 hours and you were told not to make a scene. So unless the thing you
Hold
can
on.
do doesn't involve making a scene,
Hold on, for my own
No.
sanity, I'm gonna make a
It was sit on a bench.
And
It was
to
sit
make
on
the
this
scene.
bench. So I wanted to move, but I have to sit on the bench.
the spell would have kept hold through that, sure.
Yeah.
Just checking.
So when I wake up in the morning, what I'm gonna do is, first of all, I'm gonna check the pockets and everything to see if I've been fucking mugged. You know.
So 8 hours later, when you wake up, you start frantically checking your pockets, and everything seems there as you sit up, like kind of like a blanket, like falls off you. And you look around, and in this square, you see a lot of people also coming to. It is early morning. The sun is waking most people up, and it seems that a lot of people who passed out in the street have been cared for in some way or another by those. Either just blankets on some of them, the people who fell asleep on the actual cobblestones. If you have like a little these kind of straw-ish pillows under their heads. It's like people kind of know what the aftermath of this event is and know you haven't been robbed.
I look at this blanket. How on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfy is the blanket?
It's warm.
Yeah, it's not like super soft, but you're hungover as heck, so it's up to you, really.
Cool. I'll take it. Go find a coffee shop, and I just wake up.
It seems that the stuff is probably not going to open until afternoon today.
Okay. At which point I'm gonna go to the highest peak of the Spark District, if I can be alone,
Mm-hmm.
and then just shout out, "Oh my fucking god!" and then proceed to go back to my room.
Shut
and immediately
up!
sleep over my hangover. You shut up! Wait, you alright?
It's just another drunk person nursing a hangover, not appreciating you yelling nearby.
I'm gonna size up this drunk person. What's he look like?
Person, drunk, taller than you because everyone is.
Okay.
Are you going to try and rob them?
No.
Okay.
Does he look wealthy?
Well, he's in the Spark District, so he looks better off than someone in the Smoke District.
Okay. I'ma just, ever so casually grab some dirt and, chuck it on his back and run away.
Okay, you do that. He's too hungover to chase you,
Okay.
so you run off to wherever you do. Anaxara, how do you spend the rest of that night? Do you find somewhere to sleep? Do you return to the academy? Do you just kind of hang out all night?
I mean, she would hang out with her Goliath for as long as possible, probably. If they left, she'd probably pass out in the middle of nowhere. Otherwise, she'd probably just stay with them, like, straight up all night to the morning.
Alright, you probably then woke up around the same, a little bit after Nerissa ended, then seeing him gone. You spent a decent portion of the night just chatting with this person, learning about them. You learned that they were actually from Telnorus originally, though their family traveled there from elsewhere, and they just travel around exploring different places, and they just ended up here.
Nice.
Yeah, there's chat about the world and things. You learn that, yeah, other people go places. It's cool. Sometimes it's not cool.
Fair.
But then eventually, you start to pass out, and they like you don't see them when you wake up. Like they probably left after you fell asleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, you wake up. Do you return to the academy? Do you go somewhere else?
She returns to the academy.
All right. Christine, you think you're the big one of what the hell happens after you run away?
So she's like basically as soon as that happened, like she was just heading in the exact opposite direction of where the sound's coming from, even though it is like sort of emanating everywhere. Like she doesn't know where she's going. She's just moving like as far as she can, and it gets to a point where eventually she just can't move anymore. She's
This projecting voice seems to dwindle away and just sort
Yeah.
of run. You go up to the one quiet place you know, which is the Scholarly District. You know this is a place for people to, for at least you to rest during this event. It's quiet, no one's there, everyone's out celebrating. Eventually, just make it into the courtyard of the Gizlandi Institute of Magic.
And yeah, she's like near unconsciousness almost, like making it through. She probably doesn't even make it to like the main door before like just collapsing onto the floor.
Eventually, when you wake up, you're in your bed.
She's like a bit like shocked of like wonder what must have happened, and then she then settles a bit, but she still doesn't feel right. And she doesn't get out of bed.
Oh, good. And Selena.
For a little while it would have passed, I would have just sort of made my way back. But I would have been out fairly late, just minding moon, like just looking up at the castle. But after a while, I would have head back to the academy to go to sleep.
Eventually, you all wake up into the new year. And I think that's where we'll take our first break. I don't know if we're going to go on for much longer after that, but we've been going for 2 hours, so
Yeah.
we'll have a quick bio break, go get a drink, get some water. I'll be back myself in a couple minutes. Feel free to entertain chat and talk about what happened. So
I'll also be a little bit.
Good times.
Look,
I like to be
Well-
muted. There's so much noise.
for a drunk little kobold, I sure do make a scene.
That one really set the mood for you.
Yeah,
And
I did
like-
not have a good time.
extra winning the first round and coming second, the next one really set
Jim.
the
Kind of a shame that Narisian wasn't sober. He could have caught the edge in RC.
Too bad.
let the Genasi carry over because it was too awkward to be like, why were you following us before? Why were you staring at us?
Well, here's the thing. Do you actually have proof it was the same one? They
Yeah,
could be twins. Could be the same people wearing the same clothes.
that would have gone through her mind of being like, maybe I'm mistaken. It would be rude saying something like that.
There's a lot of variables that can always go into play. Okay, it looks like they've quieted down for a tiny bit. Yeah, so this is going great.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yay.
didn't expect people to actually take part in a lot of the stuff. Expected people to be like, no, I don't want to go outside. Outside is where happiness is, and I'm here to be depressed. So that we snuck some depression in there as well.
I am back.
Oh no, look, it's okay. All I wanted to do, I almost got, I almost did it. I almost cased a guy, but I got too drunk and forgot about it.
I'm just glad I could get to the other areas.
I won a drinking competition at 6 years old.
Yeah,
Hey, it's something to put on your gravestone.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You outdrank a dwarf. Hell yeah.
And the Goliath.
God.
And I made a friend along the way.
Also the Goliath.
Those are the real enemies we make.
As soon as I heard the listing of lives, I knew what was going to happen. And I wasn't ready for it. God. That was something. Everyone had a good night though. Sorry, 2 seconds.
Alright. I am back properly now.
I am back. So, how's everyone enjoying our depression puzzle?
Look, I think I
didn't
solved
have any
it by being
depression.
drunk.
Let me see, stop.
Temptation of that though was to was to get the thoughts out, but I don't think she would have done it in the end.
But you could have been a potted plant.
No,
That was
it didn't.
hilarious. I love that. I would have loved that so much.
Hey, think of it.
I would have hated it.
Selena wouldn't have found you.
I would have hated it. Like anything else but that.
Hey, hey, Christine.
Yo.
You wanna roll? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you want me to? Because it's still
No.
ticked.
Yeah, we'll find a good moment for it.
I mean, it unticks at long rests, doesn't it?
It should.
I don't fucking know.
All the things to do when you're like running away, crying.
Stop it, Missy.
That's the point. That's why I hated it.
Like I said, you wouldn't have seen her though. She turns a corner,
Yeah.
you run past a pot of plant on the side of the road.
Darius, I hated it.
And the potted
It's
plant is
only leaves.
teleporting around.
Back.
No tears, only leaves.
Hmm?
No tears, only bark.
Well,
It's when Christine turned into the potted plant. I was just saying there's no tears now, only leaves.
oh, for fuck's sake.
This is exactly why I would have hated it.
Alright,
Alright,
everyone's back.
we're all back.
Yeah, it's still a little sad Jeremy had to run off, but he has his reasons.
Yeah,
Did I make good memes, guys? Did I make good
Yeah.
memes?
sure.
No, didn't
Never.
look at him.
And they were good.
Ugh, lies. Alright, well,
Without a Cyrus, I
continue
can't
on.
really find
Yeah,
out
we'll
much.
continue off with the next day and the week in front of you until the funeral.
I think it was the first to sun.
The first sun.
Sun, okay.
The first
basically
of
days
next
of the week are set as the sun. First sun, second sun, third sun's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Earth Sun next week.
Yeah, this is the third sun.
We've got a little bit of time to kill then.
Yes.
Just out of curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
how long a distance is Tempest Bay?
5 days.
Be able to make that. Damn. Never mind.
As...
Basically, easy first question to ask is, there obviously a date has been announced for Court's funeral. Do people plan on staying in Ghislaine to attend that?
Sorry, you go.
No, that's fun.
Personally, Selena definitely wants to attend, but if other people have other things, she understands. She can meet up with them.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to have a saying for that later. Sam, it's all good.
It's like I don't know. Like Christine really doesn't. She really doesn't. But I don't know how she would feel about herself if she didn't do it. But,
Or
yeah.
do people plan on staying, or are we gonna are you guys gonna leave Ghislaine?
If they want to stay, Annex understands and she'll stay.
I think.
I'm gonna stay to pay respects.
I think Jeremy will also stay.
Yeah, I doubt he'd leave on his own. So okay, so that means pretty much a week is passing.
So before we go into any of your downtime that we've talked about, at the end of this day after, you hear a knock on your door, Christine.
He doesn't open it.
He walks in.
Mm.
It is sad that you had to learn from the ceremony. I wish to avoid that, but you were adamant.
Doesn't say anything.
Nothing came up for him. And it could have been a failure, but I don't doubt that.
Her eyes are just closed.
Your friend is alive. He sends a message. It was vague. He didn't know who I was, so I understand. And raids, where it all began, is where it will all end. I'll leave a note with you or Selena with this. He sort of looks at you, unable to know what to say to you, and he just sort of leaves. after
He does like eventually like sort of turn her head to him. Like it's just complete devastation. Like there's nothing really stable, I guess, about how she's feeling.
When he looks at you, he's even more pained. He had a very pained expression before, as if he was holding on to this bad news for a long time.
And probably seeing that as well for her, like it's just the spark to ignite it.
And he leaves. And rest well, Christine.
He nods.
He goes out of your door. He goes out of your room, closes the door, and makes his way down into Selena's room when she's not there, and leaves the note with the message from Jakova there.
So,
Yeah, so downtime now. Fun. We'll get back to fun times before the funeral, where everyone has fun.
Honorable.
everyone has fun!
Don't worry, I'm totally not gonna fucking ruin the funeral.
No
You do, I
promise.
kill you.
Yeah, but that's the message for all to see.
Yeah.
So, going down from the top of the list, let's just go from the bottom of the list up, because Neuristian usually gets into shenanigans. Let's end with that. I believe, Selena, you're going to be doing some researching.
Yeah, she's gonna
And-
throw herself right into this, like, research. Maybe less on the contusion concordant, but like more on like maybe a little bit on like prophecies, and just seeing if she can find anything about like prophecies in like if there's any like part of the library that's just on like timeline based stuff.
There's no part of the library that specifically mentions prophecy itself. The only thing you can really learn when going through is like a god of fate was around, and they used to spout prophecy, mostly minor and whatnot. But you roll an investigation check.
Okay.
While it's happening, Christine, you are also going to be researching things, were you not?
That was the initial plan, but I think
Damn.
it's going to be slightly different.
Okay.
Okay.
Just for the first at least day, maybe day and a half, it's nothing. Like there is no motivation, no nothing. Like as quickly as she was starting to kind of build herself back up, it's just shattered.
I'll also point that like Selena will sort of avoid going into her personal space at this time, but she's gonna like sometimes sort of read at like the bottom of the stairs and stuff like that.
Also, you have inspiration. Do you want to burn it?
No, I used my inspiration already.
Oh, you did? I missed that.
Yeah, I used it on the perception check.
Oh,
During this week, if anyone's at the school, you see it slowly starts to build up again. By probably the third day you're here, there seems to be a numerous amount of students coming back for classes and study.
I'll say to summarize the investigation roll. Unfortunately, you don't, like I said, you don't learn anything about prophecy specifically. There's nothing in the library that really says, like, this is prophecies that have been written or spoken, blah, blah, blah. All you can really learn from your research is that a number of years ago, the god of fate just vanished. They were around, like a lot of other gods. They were one of the ones that died and got reborn in some way, and they spent a lot of time on the mortal material plane, and then just they're now gone. No one knows where they are.
Do I get a name of the god?
No, not with the two, unfortunately.
That's 100% fair. At some point as well, because I like in those days I would have gone and noticed the note. I probably would have shown that to Osiris and like seen if he could like pass that on to Adi as well.
He seems to be researching himself quite a bit also, but he can make a trip down. Though I think it'd be easiest if he just hands it off to Anexara, who I believe Annex, you had other plans in that regard.
In what regard? Sorry, I'm blanking.
Hanging out with Chef Girl ID.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get handed this note saying, yeah, this is what Jakova said. It's very vague. It doesn't really let you know about his status or how he's doing, but But eventually you go down to a cafe in the market district and you see Chef Galladay working as a waitress.
Even if she's holding stuff again, Annex is going to tackle her.
This time things do break.
Fuck. Hi.
Hi, your brother's not dead.
That is good.
Yeah, it is. See?
I'm
And she
not
just-
getting paid today. Thank you.
Huh? Oh, here, she just runs into her pocket and hands her a gold. You've been paid now.
Thank you. But
You're welcome. But look, your brother's not dead.
okay.
She's just got the paper open now. She's like wiggling it around.
Has the rest of the party said whether I am traveling with you all?
I mean, who cares what they think? You can travel with us.
I suppose I can't argue with that. You did good at that festival, by the way.
That was my first time drinking. It was a roller coaster.
Yes, I was watching from the audience.
I made a friend, but I also don't really remember much of my friend. But I made one, and I know that.
Yes, well, may I get up again, please?
Oh yes, sorry. Nah, she
Is
steps
this
up.
is this going to be a habit?
Well, you I can knock over. Jakuva I can't, so maybe.
Oh yes, he was kind of big.
Big.
Yeah, he was always one of the bigger kittens.
Kitten.
So, was this all you needed to hand off, little one?
Yeah, it was suggested I did this.
I mean, I can take my break now and spend some time if you just trying to spend your day doing something.
I'm okay with that. I'm not really doing anything important.
Right. Yeah, Artie is going to inform her, let's say, connection here to
I quit.
that she's taking time off.
Yeah, you take some time. The two of you spend a few days hanging out if Adi is doing that as well.
Yeah, which means a lot less pay, if any.
Yeah, for Annex, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Annex, like, being able to wander the city pretty freely without like being constantly watched and stared at. It's kind of freeing, and you have a new person to spend time with and like just chat and be, not alone with. Aside from an otter, which still tries to bite you every so often.
She is absolutely abusing this sort of freedom she has.
Uh-huh. Hey,
is that?
Annex, right? Yes?
Yeah, yeah,
Are you still wearing the bone crown, by the way?
yes.
Might I ask, did my brother make that for you?
Oh yeah, he did. We also made one for our turtle friend.
The turtle that I first found, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was quite nice. I haven't seen him since, but I imagine I'll be seeing him a lot soon.
Probably. I think he's been busy.
I shall. Would you like to try some teas with me?
Okay, I enjoyed it.
I need to practice my cooking, so. And
I'm
yeah, I
happy to
guess that's what I'll be doing. I'm getting her to test various teas with various effects.
At the same time, while they're doing that, Annex is gonna be like reading out her garbage pickup lines to get her opinion.
Okay.
They aren't good. They are not good.
They're awful.
You know
How
what?
do
Give me a fucking persuasion for that.
You're reminded that
Alright.
she's 6.
Yeah.
A lot of them are like, you run fast.
I like
Yeah,
your
sure.
hat.
Why do I
you,
have disadvantage?
You're
need to-
intoxicated.
Oh, I'm still intoxicated, right?
You need to work on your lines a little, but I mean, given a few years, I'm sure you can improve on that.
Years? I don't have years. I need to get in his pants now.
Whose pants?
No one's. I didn't say anything. Look, a bird!
Back to the tea.
And Annex points into the middle of nowhere.
I will say, when I'm doing the tea, you'll notice I'm writing down a lot of things. There's still that loose note in my pocket. Well, sort of pocket. It's honestly what I'm wearing. It's kind of hard to have pockets. It's sitting out on my back. We'll go with that.
Alright, what's Christine doing?
questions answers, which I am confused on myself.
We can come back there if you wanted to think on it some more.
Yeah, probably a little bit more.
Okay. I guess that leaves. And did you have anything else you wanted to investigate, Selena?
The prophecy. Maybe like a bit of like research on some of the other gods as well.
Okay. Roll a investigation check.
Oh, now I get the 20.
Yo, there's a lot of gods.
Thanks, game.
Like a lot of gods. Like way more gods than you actually thought existed.
And they're all dead. Except for 3.
I'll just nab some names off you later if that's cool.
Also, you notice a lot of the gods are very oddly specific things they govern over. But like you've seen shrines to the big three, you've seen the temples, you've seen shrines to minor gods. You find with a nat 20, you find names of gods you've never even heard of or like ever seen shrines to, and you're like, what the fuck? Who worships this?
What kind?
Like the god of being on fire.
Okay.
The god of
That's a
drinking, depression, and therapy.
I need that one.
I look at that one and sort of just like remember last night with the drinking game and kind of just be like, huh.
Yeah. Like there's gods of a lot of this, like god of rock and air, specifically those two things together.
Why is there a god of being on fire?
You see that with this stat 20, we'll elaborate a little bit more on that. You know that Judge Chabris is a judge, and therefore it's in his domain power to judge if someone is worthy of godhood. And
since there are so many dead gods, there's all these powers sitting around that need to be tied into some actual force to control them, and he does that.
Oh.
And he does so by judging mortals that have died and have done something very significant in their life.
Starting to get a little bit more concerned about Neresian's claims of godhood.
Fair.
As it's probably possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, you now learn the process of godhood and how it's changed over since the Cataclysm. As we head into Neresian's room, I believe we're hearing a bunch of tinkering going on, correct?
Yes, I am tinkering during the day. I will tinker, and I will try and get my crossbow to work.
Yep. And you're spending a few days doing this every single day, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Constantly,
after
you're stopping
pretty
by
much-
Z, getting some help from him, etc.
Yep. Going by, see if he has any parts. Shooting the shit with him occasionally, like on his off on his downtime. Go out drinking, that sort of crap.
And
Then start to peruse the Market District and other districts that I'm allowed to go to and see what wares they have, like every other day. Just see if they've got anything interesting pops up. Any rumors going around. Maybe look at the quest boards if there's any quest boards.
Roll an investigation check.
And then Darren can say what he was going to say before I rudely interrupted.
Natural fucking 20. Okay, I
Look at
need to
all those
open a
20s.
different page I don't have open.
Look at these two.
Eventually, your crossbow, you've set it up so you can change whatever your holding mechanism for whatever you want to fire. Your daggers, your grappling hook, your arrows, you can go back to them now. It seems to be working as efficient as you want it to be. There's still room for improvement. You think you can do some other things with it, but you don't lack the imagination, but you lack the practicality.
File tech.
Well, Darian looks up information to give out, I guess.
Yeah, because you're on that fucking 20, so there's things you might not have learned that now you're probably learning due to information passing over time. There's a
As it
few
does.
tidbits of information you overhear while just kind of wandering around or actively listening in to people. Trying to find the right fucking note though, because I have so bloody many.
We'll say that can you just roll me a investigation check for your casing of buildings in particular?
Ah, yes, of course. No.
You think you can get in? It doesn't look sealed up in
I
any way.
think I can get in, I can't get out.
You can break a window, you can get in through the window.
Yeah.
That Dragonborn will pay for doing his job and being-
Insulting me.
Yeah, that's what he did.
So, a few minor tidbits you learn, maybe not so minor, is you remember traveling along the way when you went all these places, you ended up in a town at some point called Illowell. Do you remember?
Yep, I know Illowell.
Yep, the large trading city. You learned the governor of Illowell was assassinated.
Is that the one with the anti-knife here policy?
That was the one where you guys killed a bunch of people on the street when they were going to go do bad things themselves. It's the kind of like a gray area.
Okay.
You also learned that unrest in Illowell is at an all-time high. While this is going on, it's not a good place to be right now. Yeah, you also learn that recently, like, this is near the end of the week, news is coming through that there is something happening in Tide's favor, which, if you know, is the city northmost city in Ghislaine, where there is apparently some problems going on up there, but not a lot of information has traveled south yet, so you don't get a lot more than that. Anything else, AJ, that he could probably learn from that? Because I don't even know what current events we have going on.
With the
Anything
unrest
odd?
with the unrest in Illowell, you know that the trading and travel there is unwise, and like major cities are sort of not sending anyone there if they can help it.
So an embargo?
Not really, it's more like, you know, people aren't going there because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that,
Any news from Highview?
sadly no.
Even though
Oh!
there is a big old train that travels, Highview does take a while for information to pass between. There you go, AJ?
There is news that there has been the new Platinum Dragonborn has been found in Drakazor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a fucking big one. Yeah, the new Platinum Dragonborn is born and has been found in Drakazul.
I think that's all the information you'll get from the week.
Okay. That's fine. I'll spend another bit of it busking in the market district, swapping from trumpet to violin just to try and get a feel of it.
Alright. I will say you could probably only do one check of this.
One check per week. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you make some general money from it. Maybe over the week, probably an additional 5 gold.
People must have spent it a lot at the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also in the market district. There's more competition for buskers.
Yeah, fair enough. I then, as the last thing, I'd probably check up on Selena and Christine, see how they're doing, make sure they're alright.
How are they doing?
Selena's like kind of like manic. Like she's like reading, but like, you know, she's it's like a lot of like false energy. Like she's like false positivity.
Ah, okay, so she's putting on a front.
Yeah, to a degree. Like it just seems like this is kind of her way of like pushing forward.
You holding up alright?
Yeah, I found this very interesting book on gods. You might want to look at this actually.
Okay, that's very good. I take the book and I book it.
There's a being on fire.
Ah, nice.
Like drinking and being depressed. That's another one. This
Oh,
That's
so-
here. That's very interesting, but I didn't find anything on the prophecy, unfortunately. So maybe later I might find something.
I wish I could just copy paste this list of stuff to you, but it is long.
It's a huge list.
is it basically in the
Nope.
packet that
No.
you gave us?
No, she finds out even more than that. It's not 20. There's a lot of things.
Some
Okay,
stupid
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, there's stupid stuff.
Well, fortunately, I've done some other stuff. I found out some rumors.
Mhm.
Governor of Illowell has been assassinated.
Oh, when did that happen?
Do I know when that happened? Like that week?
News didn't have a specific date. It's one of those things like the exact day doesn't really transfer. The fact that it happened is what gets pushed along the grapevine.
Don't know what day, sadly, but he was assassinated. The city's in high unrest as it continues to well, and also people are steering clear of it for obvious reasons of possible revolution. There's also a new platinum dragonborn. It's been born in Drakazul.
I know very much about the whole I think I did a roll on history,
We
Maybe-
both got nat 20s on that, I think.
You rolled really well. You guys know there is only ever one platinum dragonborn alive at a time. And if a new one's been found, it probably means that Derez is the one you met, Dreza. He's probably not too long for the world.
but,
I would like to go
Teresa.
by and
not long.
yeah.
That's really sad. But
Life
Look-
begins anew.
everything's just a little bit chaotic at the moment. Is there any good news?
Apart from the Dragonborn, I know there's a little bit of trouble in Tide's favor. Not much good news. I mean, I got a fair amount of gold busking again.
Oh, but you said something's wrong in Tide's favor?
I don't know what's wrong in that detail. It might have just happened recently. News travels, but it's there's
Oh, go on. I'm remembering something.
yeah, news travels, but not specifics yet.
I will say that there is another thing you notice. We should have remembered, but we forgot. That the tournament for the Silver Nexus is coming up in the new year, before the summer solstice, or the solstice of the dawn. It's probably around a month and a half away.
Oh yeah, and oh, actually might be some good news. Well, for me anyway. I might want to compete. Tournament for the Silver Nexus is coming up.
It's people that we met that felt in the sky. Is that right?
Yes. Nexus travelers, I think.
Okay. Just a quick question as well. How many days in is this, roughly?
It's probably
this
around day 5. It's probably
Yeah.
it's probably the day before the funeral.
Maybe we should check out Tide's favor. It's not too far from here. After everything's done, yeah. We could maybe do some good.
Ah, yeah, of course. That actually sounds pretty good. Any news about Jakuvra?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't give you this note. We got a response. It's a bit vague. What was it again? Where it all began is where it will all end.
Ah, okay. So he's at
There's Andavine.
he's at Zerosh's, yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the only thing I can sort of get from that, but
Or he'll meet us there at least.
it's probably got a little further to travel, I feel. Or maybe equal amounts, but if we can do some work at Tide's favor. Maybe we can make the money to get the land burner.
How much is the land burner ticket?
100 gold each.
I'll just go on the same way I usually went.
Did you get caught?
I mean, I think I did. I'm not sure who pointed me out. Would I remember who pointed me out?
No, nothing. It wasn't me. I just said to call. I saw something.
I mean, it would be quite a long walk. I guess it's up to everyone else, but
It'll be about a month's travel.
To Ty's favor.
No, it'll be 5 days to Ty's favor, but a month to Tonru's.
from Highview to Andivine, though, is that similar or longer?
Way longer.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it would be bad to walk. We could possibly like help out in some towns on the way, perhaps.
Yeah, I'll do a little good what you can. I actually would like to go to the tournament for the Nexus. A little bit of access towards file tech's always good. Might possibly get in, have a couple of adventures in the different elemental planes.
Filetech, her face for like a millisecond drops, but like she just brings the mask up again. It's like, oh, yeah, that would be interesting. It seems powerful. You could
I'm gonna
good.
inside check that face drop. Oh, that's history. Sorry.
That's a hit, my guy. What's your inside for that?
+0.
A 15.
I mean, with a 15, you probably sort of. I mean, you'd notice it, but I don't know whether or not you'd garner like much from it.
What's wrong? Your face dropped.
We lost the sword. Someone took it.
What they look like. You see as Nerisian's face goes from jovial to just plain flat dead serious.
Wasn't there. They went into Christine's room when she was on her own.
I go up to Christine's room.
Wait.
Follow me.
I don't think now's a very good time. This is just gonna reopen old wounds.
Do you stop Nerisian?
I halt for a second.
She's grieving at the moment, and she feels to blame for this, and she shouldn't. And I'm trying to just give her time to think. She shouldn't have to think about this. After we did this, we went and seen his family, and it was rough.
Should have been there.
She described them. They sounded like. How well was the description again? I can't remember. Just want to garner of the person who took the sword.
It was pretty decent description.
Yeah, she was able to describe it well. It wasn't long before she had to like describe it again. It was pretty in her mind.
Okay, I'm just trying to like figure if I would have. They sounded a lot like. When I first heard it, I thought that it was Court's son, and so that's why I thought maybe we should go there and just find out, just to confirm that he had it, but it wasn't him. I don't know. They sounded an awful lot like a younger version of Court.
I'm going to. Yeah. When I hear Court mentioned again, I'm gonna go. Okay, that's fine. We'll wait until. We can wait until later for that. Funeral's tomorrow, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have anything to wear?
I have some fine traveling clothes. Nothing too glamorous. I mean, I wouldn't take that with me, but I'll just wear my nice traveling clothes.
Very well. Who do you expect to go in general?
I guess Cyrus, maybe an XR. I'm not sure.
You're welcome.
I knew that you're going to, because you're clearly asking about it. I'm guessing. I'm not sure about Christine. I think I'll ask her if she'll come with me, but I don't know at the moment. She's just, yeah.
Speaking of Christian, as the conversation continues on, what is she doing right now?
So, for
How
like
we-
going back a little bit, like to the first few days, like the first day, every day and a bit, it's just nothing. Like I mentioned before, there's just no will, no nothing. Eventually, she does pick herself up, and she doesn't want to even look at like her own desk, her own stuff. She just wants to leave. I'd say she'd probably end up leaving out. Probably just wandering around the academy.
At the
She
window,
knows-
cast Featherfall.
Huh?
Looks at the window, cast Featherfall.
Yeah. No, she definitely would wander around the academy. Like it's the one place she feels somewhat comfort in. And like she knows the place like the back of her hand, so she can just kind of pace around in circles if she needs to.
It's big, so it takes
Yeah.
you a while to cover the whole place. There's still
Yeah.
places like, that no one really goes.
But I know a lot of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like probably for the rest of that like second day, it's just more so watching, just kind of observing everyone, like coming through, the students coming back in. Just really like stuck in her thoughts, like wondering if like if she should just stay, like. But yeah, she just kind of keeps that while just moving around. Then next few days, I kind of see her trying to take her mind off things. She is going to go to the library, and she is probably going to do. Does she have the ability to take books up to her room? Actually,
Yeah, they're not allowed to leave the academy, but you can take them up.
then I'll probably do that instead. She'd probably like make a little appearance into the library. Like she wants to research. She wants to try to stay away from the topic, but still try to do something useful. So she's going to put time and effort into researching the planar gates, the archway, the obsidian cube itself. Seeing if anything is hidden within the Ghislaine Academy, of like all of Azeroth's notes and stuff as well. Like anything really.
So roll investigation check.
Do I? Don't I? Do I? Don't I? Yeah, of course I do.
You're Tide's favorite? Alright, go for it.
Of course I do.
Tides of Chaos, roll again.
There we go.
Better response. So you spend time going through tomes after tomes. You spend time looking at, initially, like, Azeroths, you get dragons and different histories about that kind of stuff, and you go over the planescape, and you find books about how the different planes are allocated and whatnot, and stuff that's probably not too unfamiliar for you with all the study you've done. You start looking into things like the stable gates and the demi-planes that you found, the obsidian cube, but there is zero. Not a single book you find mentions the gates. Not a single book you find mentions the cube, mentions any other items that sound like what Azeroth mentioned in his notes. There is nothing. Which is in and of itself a statement.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like being the person I am, I thoroughly went through a bunch of like the shelves, like making sure that there is nothing.
Yeah, like, because the Ghislaine, the Institute of Magic's library isn't just a library for Ghislaine, it's also a library of Labrada.
Yeah.
So it's like, finding literally nothing, and with all the searching you did, and you think you've covered most if not all the bases, says something in and of itself.
how long do you say that would take? A couple of days?
Yeah, that would be like a day or two at least, just to
Yeah.
check all this off.
Yeah. Probably after that, like, yeah, you probably end up feeling extremely frustrated with herself, just unable to really figure anything out. And then let's say like what, the fourth to fifth day? Not quite sure exactly.
Today's the day before the funeral.
Yep, day before the funeral. That makes the most sense there. She is going to take a trip to the smoke district.
You leave, you head down to the smoke district. It's a bit of a walk, but you pass through the spark district eventually.
She makes sure as well to like bring her cloak. Like doesn't bring any of her items in her backpack. It's just her cloak and her arcane focus.
Righty. So you make the trip down, covering yourself with your cloak, and it takes you a little while to pass through the spark district. All the shenanigans that go there with the magical doodads and bebops and everyone who works there. Eventually passing into the smoke itself. Do you wear a mask?
If she could somehow procure a mask herself, then yes, she would.
Yeah,
But-
masks are provided for pretty much. They're very easy to come by. It's just like a cloth wrap that goes around your mouth
Yeah.
and nose. And yeah, and you pass into the smoke district. The smoke here is as dense as it always is. Where are you? What are you doing here? Where are you going? Oh, you know where you're going.
Yeah, I feel like at first it's a sort of hesitation to actually go properly into the smoke district. She sort of just takes a few steps, reaches like sort of border to get in, and then takes a few seconds to walk through. I am looking for anything I know where the caretaker's place would be.
The house itself.
Well, just anything where like maybe I could overhear people like talking, or like just because I'm assuming I know nothing.
It's not hard to find. You don't know a lot about the caretaker, but knowing about the care house itself is different.
Yeah,
Because it's
okay.
basically like it's pretty much a hospital for, hey, you're sick, come here and we'll heal you. You can even ask anyone on the street where it is, and they'll literally give you directions to it.
Yeah, I don't think she'd ask, but she just kind of like just look around and just over here.
Yep.
Find it. It takes you half an hour of wandering,
It's really
but you
close
eventually
to
come across it.
Sorry, yeah, it's really close to the gate you came from. It's a very pristine building that looks very different to all the other buildings in the smoke district.
Yeah. I feel like before I like properly approach, like she's starting to move towards it. But before I actually get myself in there, I am going to cast detect magic. Like before, like getting close to that building.
That's easy enough to do.
Yep.
As you do, it radiates magic. There is a bunch of healing magic. There is some abjuration. You think there's probably guarding spells to make sure that people are safe in here. But that's all you can. So you can detect a whole variety of magic, but they seem to just mainly be healing.
I need to check one quick.
Funny, because if you don't know, healing magic is ironically evocation magic, which is also kill magic.
Yeah, since that's not helpful to me. Just 1 second, I'm looking at one spell which I want to ask the question for. A type of magic. Nope, already got that answer. Alright. I guess then she would try to step along, like closer towards it instead of. It looks crowded in there, doesn't it?
Not super crowded, but like you can see movement on the floors above and everything. There are people clearly here. There's like the front door opens up and you can see like these like glass-ish doors. And there is a desk behind it. And there's a few people behind them doing like talking and moving about. And you see people wearing all these similar uniform style cloaks coming and going. Sometimes someone's like walks in with like a broken leg or something, like carried in by a friend, and then they're taken away. Other people are being like released. They give them a pat on the back and send them off.
Okay. I just want to kind of head like into the doors.
Yep.
And my first thing I want to like just sort of keep an eye out for is if any of the abjuration magic causes my spell detect magic to dissipate.
Well, you pass the doors. The thing you notice immediately when you step straight through the doors, there was no smoke inside. As soon as you pass the doorway, the smoke, just like the interior of the building, is just gone.
Yeah.
Then yeah, your detect magic stays up.
Yep, it doesn't disappear.
Okay. Upon realizing that, I'm gonna drop the detect magic and then quickly cast Alter Self. And it's mostly going to be just changing slight appearances.
What
Like-
school is Alter Self?
Alter Self is, I believe, transmutation.
Okay.
Okay, Alter Self, not disguise self.
It's not illusion, it's transmutation.
Um,
Yeah, like the small things I just want to change is like I want to just change the hairstyle and color completely. Like instead of having like sort of braided up hair like to the left side, it's just like looks like it's probably flowing. It doesn't look like it is. It's now probably flowing. Probably like instead of red, it's more sort of a almost blondish, like strawberry blonde kind of color. Her eyes will go back to probably her original color. I think that's probably the first thing she'd do. I feel like her facial features would just be slight. And I don't think she'll change her race.
can you do a stealth check to see how hidden you do this?
Yeah.
This isn't like sneakily casting a spell.
No.
This is like hiding. Like,
Can't-
hiding
Is this a
behind
new
people.
day?
New day. You can Tides of Chaos this if you want.
Yeah. I need to do this badly. Oh, yeah.
You think you've gotten stealthy. Like you wait, there's some people coming out, and you notice a point where like a few of the uniformed people turn to like talk to somebody who's come down the staircase, and you cast it. You
I like to
change,
imagine
you do
I'm
the
trying to
changes.
I like to imagine I'm like sitting down as well, just kind of been waiting.
Yeah, there's like a
like-
waiting area. You do these
Yeah.
changes, and when you look around, you don't know if anyone saw you do it. You don't think anyone did.
Okay. I may as well put the concentration thing on myself real quick. Yeah, should probably just like sort of wait around just like a few seconds, just trying to like sort of observe. Like, so the room I'm in, does it lead off anywhere?
Think of like the entrance of the hospital.
Yeah, there's two
Yeah.
different. There's two different main pathways. There's like a T-shaped building. Sorry, I'm eating.
There are ways to go. Like there's a while you wait. It's okay. Well, there's a waiting area. People are being seen. There's a desk where people can walk up and like talk to and organize. And they basically you hear some people saying like, "Oh, I've had this kind of cough," blah 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 blah. And they go, "Okay, we'll go sit over there, and we'll see you in a minute." Blah blah blah. This doctor will be with you soon, and it's just like a normal. Like there's a pathway going to the left. There's a pathway going to the right. You can see staircases further in that clearly head up to higher levels.
Yeah, she'll just sort of wait a bit until like the front desk is a bit cleared or anything like that.
Yeah, there's some time. It might take like 5 minutes, but yeah, there's a point where you can approach it.
And yeah, she will approach.
You see this human woman? It's like, can I help you? Do you have an ailment, or do you wish to visit someone?
Yeah, a bit. There's a little bit of both. Mostly like the smoke outside's been getting to me a lot recently. It's been getting hard to sort of keep myself focused. Blurry vision and all. I also don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but I mean that's not much of importance. And what more so important is just, yeah, trying to keep myself functional.
Well, here, take this, and he hands you a clipboard with parchment on it.
Mhm.
Just take a seat and we'll lead you to a room in a little bit.
Thank you.
You know, it's like the note they've handed you, a little bit of parchment. It's like a few things, like a list of like, oh, please just like X off the symptoms you might have, blah blah blah, because it covers a wide variety of
Yeah.
things.
I mean, she'll try to fill it out in the best way to how she described.
Yeah, you just do a few things to make it so it
Yeah.
sounds good on your story.
Yeah.
Do you wait there for them?
Yep. It's like she's constantly like aware of like everything. Like her heart is pounding in her chest, and like she's just trying to like keep eyes out.
Eventually, she's like, "Alright, there's a doctor's ready to see you. Follow me." And a nurse leads you. She leads you up the stairs a couple levels. Eventually, you make it to another desk. Like, there seems to be one of these desks at every levels, and eventually you reach probably the 3rd or 4th floor, and she walks behind this desk. She's like, "In here."
Take a breath, and I follow.
In this room is a man wearing a lab coat, and he looks like George Clooney.
Oh, nice of him.
And he turns and he sees you. He's like, "Ah, it's quite nice to see you again. How may I help you?" "Oh, you may go." And the nurse starts to leave.
In front of you is Aranel Parnell, the caretaker.
Please step inside.
Fuck. I feel like she doesn't realize at first, and then as soon as she like realizes it, it's just like pure frozen.
I suggest you step inside. Make a wisdom saving throw. With disadvantage.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then roll me on the table.
Shit.
Yeah, that's her.
The stress went immediately all the way up.
That's perfect! That's perfect!
So you start to step forward to enter into the room, and as you do, the door behind you closes,
Arcane lock.
and we'll cut away from that.
Yeah.
Hey Kim, just join me down here, okay?
Yeah, I will. Yep.
So, what's everyone else doing on this last day?
Chilling. Killing.
Killing. That's cool. All right.
Contemplating whether to let my otter be in him again. I will give them the option. If he starts being nicer to me, I'll turn him back into an imp.
Gotta be honest, I kind of just imagine everyone else is back to like wherever they're staying, and I'm just wandering around the city somewhere.
I'm contemplating whether or not to go around the lower districts singing the Not So Funky Spider
Should look for that
theme
edge and
from what's it called? From Spider-Man 3 specifically, Bully Maguire style. Just going around the streets, going.
Didn't know Spider-Man existed in Echo's world.
Roll me persuasion. And XRO.
Okay.
Okay. You talk to it. It seems to sigh and it like nods like it'll tolerate you.
And if he's nice to me for a full day, tomorrow morning I will turn him back to an imp.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna take her shopping.
What are you gonna buy shopping?
Huh? Oh, I was just gonna do it out of thing, but
Okay. That's fine. You can do that.
the only thing I'll need to know is like how much I could sell scale mail for. Plan to trade it in for something lighter.
Half price.
Half price, so
probably top price
it's
unless you roll.
25. I'll roll up persuasion, see if I can get it higher, but
We won't go on for too much longer. We'll probably just do the funeral and end it shortly after.
any chance I can get it close to the hot top price?
You probably get 75%.
So that's 50. I'll do the math on it.
Let me just have a look at the scale. Yeah, 37.5. Yeah. 37 gold, 5 silver. We're in the fun part now. We'll probably jump ahead then, and then we'll jump back if we need to. As bells ring out over the next day on the 8th of Croy. The 6th of Croy, my bad. As the New Year celebrations come to end, preparations for today began. Today is the funeral of the champion of Gizlang, Court Shane. Starting at the academy, a procession is to descend the city into the smoke, winding through its shaded streets before rising up to the castle. What is everyone doing this day?
I'm getting ready for the funeral. I'm just gonna wear what I usually wear for now.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get to the actual event, I'll cast Disguise Self and present myself in a proper manner.
Annex?
He doesn't have any fancy clothing, so she'll just wear the same stuff, but she'll just kind of clean herself up a bit more.
I'll take a 2 or 3 gold discount off either one.
If I see an XR at some point, if she's trying to clean herself up, I'll prestidigitate.
You press the digitate. You prestidigitate an XR, making her look cleaner for the day.
I just like go around and prestidigitate everyone. If everyone's like trying to like brush up nicely, she's just on like. I can't really talk at the moment because Darian's talking.
Okay.
Yeah, basically she's just like trying to go around keeping everything in order.
Is anyone skipping out of the procession? Is all I want to know. I don't think that's a yes, so I think we'll wait until Kim gets back and run it through. Let's entertain ourselves. What's everyone think's going on down there? You know?
I have no idea, but it's very hard to like not listen in, so I'm like trying to distract myself.
Just play
Clearly
some
was
music.
found out because anti-magic field.
Just play some music. Hi.
Yeah, she's being tortured.
She's being tortured, huh?
God.
That'd be fun.
Oh, if I buy it... Oh, actually, AJ, I never thought to ask. If this was towards the end of the week, would I have been paid anything for waitressing?
Like, maybe
Even if it's small.
2 gold.
Sweet, that makes a
That's
whole
all
difference
from
here.
me.
Yeah, I already added that, though, thank you. Brings me up to 13. If I get a shield, that was only 3 GP. That's actually reasonable. Although, I could just go without. Do I have anything else to sell? No, but I'm going to have to buy rations, so I should actually hold on to what gold I have left.
Well, yeah. That was a very interesting thing she did.
Oh, actually, I could sell those. No, I couldn't. Okay, no, I'm just going to hold on to the gold I have left.
That's
I'll
right.
worry about shield later.
The sword, I don't know what the sword was. I was AFK. Was that Chrono Cutter? Was that what Christine was talking about?
Selena.
Selena?
That was talking about Chrono Cutter with Nerisian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Court sword. So it's important to both of them. They like that sword. They wish it was still here.
Yeah, it would have been good.
Some say it was the friends they made along the way.
Some say it was a fucking magic sword.
No, think about it. I could have went hide armor, stuck with a medium, not got the disadvantage, and saved a lot of cash. That's not a bad route. You know what? I might do it that way instead. Sorry, I'm just trying to think about how to spend here, AJ. It's like,
That's fine.
yeah.
Sort of just waiting here.
Just
so
just
good.
waiting for the whatever the fuck's going on over in the other chat.
Waiting for the whatever the
vibe.
fuck. Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of waiting for the whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry for all the noise tonight, though.
It's all good.
It's okay.
I'm
It's all
gonna
good. It's
snap.
only one day a year you get to turn 24.
It has nothing to do with that. It's more every Friday they are aware I have D&D. It'd be nice if one of these Fridays they, actually let me enjoy it.
It's the joys of living with people, eh? I don't miss it.
The thing is, they're actually having a party not for me, but to celebrate my sister's boyfriend's birthday, which is not until next week.
Wow.
They chose to do it tonight.
Good times. Well, I don't know if you're much of a birthday person.
I'm
but-
not.
Okay, well, I won't.
Look, I appreciate
you happy
people if they
birthday.
say it, but it's just not something I celebrate, that's all.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Shield. That is. I'll just take off the 20 gold. Brings me down to.
I celebrate it yet less and less every year.
There we go. Yeah, I managed to preserve a 16 and sell my scale mail.
Trying to think of something we can do to kill time.
I mean, I'm just shopping. It's going well. And now I just realized I'm gonna have to do rations. Like, I still don't know if you guys have technically accepted me, and that's half the problem here. I'm under the impression that
Alex has said you're accepted anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the rest think.
I'm under the impression Annex has no problem. The Turtle's suspicious, but sure, he's said yes.
Selena's never going to turn someone away who's like clearly needs, like, is like trying to find someone or like needs help.
I don't mind a bit of out of character talk. So, any suspicions?
I guess the Genasi is a bit unusual. I don't know what's going on there.
That one's a bit sus.
AJ Nazi's are fine. Actually, how much clothes, AJ?
I'm back. I finished my burger.
Oh, he wasn't even here.
Oh shit, I was just eating my burger.
Okay, so
I got him
fine
McDonald's.
I got a Grand Mac.
Where's my McDonald's, Demi?
Hey, you were being a shit to me today.
What is
You
the
get
some
main
like-
difference between fine clothes and vestments?
Investments are for churches.
Ah,
You'll get some later. Okay, Mim?
Okay.
I want
AJ,
a
I
McDonald's
wish to
Sunday.
persuade to get a lower price on buying fine clothes at a different store.
You wish to get.
I wish to use another persuasion since it's a tech. I imagine where I buy like armor and shields probably wouldn't sell the clothes I'm after.
Yeah.
So
That's a good roll.
Sadly, they're not the type of people to bug.
they don't barter. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just figured I'd see. I've got the rough prices when I look at them. So now, do I want to buy a bunch of common clothes? Or do I want to buy actual fine clothes? You ever just have one pair of good clothes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One pair of fine clothes, which will put me down to 20. And then a couple sets of common clothes, which 5 silver pieces each. Actually, what's traveling? They're 2 GP, right?
I want to read out some of these gods.
Yeah, I will get a set of traveler's clothes. And that'll be put me
You
to
can make
18.
it a thing where you talk in and rest, you know, a list of gods if you want.
Yes, please.
Go for it, I don't mind.
Yeah, but I don't have the gods written down.
Oh, okay. Let me have a look.
Hey,
Because that could be kind of fun for the stream as well.
You
mildly
know, I'll
important
read them
question.
out and we'll say that you're talking about.
Mildly important question, AJ, just quickly.
Mhm.
The clothes that are in the picture for Galardi, would they technically fall under common or travelers?
Probably travelers.
Done deal. Thank you.
You know about the top 3: Kimatian, the god of death, Jingadi, the god of life, and Judge Tabris, the god of order and justice. And
Yeah, I probably knew about those ones already, though.
You learn of
You get them on their big jobs.
You learn of Solero, the god of light, day, and sun. He is a sun god. You learn of Osworth, the son of Oz, god of metal and rock, son of God.
That's amazing.
You learn of Rocknardo, the god of air and earth, who is a water genasi.
Osworth, son of Oz.
About time change appearance.
100% a Black Sabbath reference, isn't it?
You know of Auntie Vorleen, the god of family and hearth.
Holy.
Vorleen, V.
Volin.
Yes.
Okay.
And And yes, that is a reference to Lyrio.
Anyone want to steal an airship?
You learn of Skiddlywink, the god of entertainers and fools. You learn of Fortura, the god of gambling. You learn of Orion, the god of money. I'll send a list of these later, so it'll be good.
Yeah, that's good. I just wanted to hear something.
You learn of Grandula, the god of hunt and nature. And all those are sun gods you know of.
Tavris is clearly the best one.
You learn of the moon gods. Nighttime, the god of darkness, night and moon. You learn of Haru, the god of sea, pools and water. You learn of Athtar, the god of fire and burning. You learn of Brad, the god of music and celebrations. You learn of Labrana, the god of knowledge. You learn of Gunther, the god of hangovers. You learn of John, the god of drinking, depression, and therapy.
John! It's amazing.
That's all the gods you know of.
I like John. I feel bad for him.
So it's John.
Yeah.
John feels bad for John.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, this is a good chance. Nerisian, do you want to be useful?
I always am, but what do you need?
I should have.
I need a con save.
Your save.
A
I think
constitution
I wrote it
save.
wrong, so I need to see if it worked. Shit. Where did I fuck this one up?
Con's meant to come before the comma.
Ah.
Yeah, you want your.
Or do I need to put that in a separate effect?
You want your saving throw. Yeah, you just want you just move the comma. For con.
Con save. Wait, like save.
Save
Comma.
1d4 con. That's all you need to do. Oh, and also you want to do a semicolon after intelligence.
Ah, that's where I fucked up. Right, so save 1d4, then you said the con there, right?
Yep.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Okay, let's give this
Back?
one last test.
Hold on.
Kimmy, so are you going to join the procession with the rest of your friends? It's the next day.
So she came back probably after like a few hours, 3, 4, and spent the night in a room. She then would have probably would have woke up normally, got out of bed normally. Like she felt like she had the last week was actually what she needed to kind of relax, not do anything strenuous, and kind of just keep herself back aligned. She's very much hesitant still, even so. But if Selena's around, she would like hold on to her arm and like just stay near her the entire time. So yes, she would go.
Selena would have come and checked up on her instead of just like she's prestidigitating everyone, like because that's how she's like. It's a coping mechanism at this point. Like everyone must
Yeah.
complain.
Yeah.
But like she asks
Must be
first
clean.
if it's okay. Like she'd like,
No, you can do it.
and then she'd just be like,
Swap that spell out.
if you want to come, but no one's forcing you.
I don't know if I'd be able to live with myself if I didn't.
Well, I'll be here. So, if you need a shoulder to cry on, then it's here.
She nods.
Okay. As everyone wakes up, we learned that Selena has helped prestidigitating everyone ready to go. And everyone dresses up for the procession. Are you following with them, Christine?
Like she will, like I've feel like she would have some finer clothes like in her room that she doesn't wear often.
Yeah.
She'd probably put at least something nice on, which is, of course, like a bit more black. And then yeah,
You exit the Scholar District, is where this starts. The procession begins as it's going to go down, winding through the city, down from the spark to the smoke, or through the market, all the way back up to near the castle district.
Yeah.
In the spark. Dozens of people stand idly waiting for the procession to begin. A casket is brought forth, borne by 6 people with the Gislanian flag resting across it. A wreath of flowers decorates its top, and 2 bearers carry portraits ahead of it. Those who know them recognize court son Arthur Deschain and say that he's leading the casket bearers. The others you don't recognize, but each is a middle-aged person wearing heavily inlaid armor, where there's a genasi, a human, both male and female, a tiefling, and a dragonborn woman. As they're all carrying the thing, following behind them, there's 2 people holding portraits of him. There's a female halfling and a female tabaxi. I'm gonna change this upbeat, super nice music to super sad music. Fruba, dumb baby.
I mean,
This
something
is
that fits a bit better.
Sad. Megalovin.
What?
His theme is a pretty no, not his theme. Where's Emotion from Pokemon? That's a good theme. There it is. I found it. There we go.
I found it. It's here.
Okay. As noon approaches, the procession starts to form proper. An honor guard of a dozen soldiers who served on the court take the lead. The casket is following afterward, and a dozen people follow in its wake. A few faces catches your eye. You see the headmaster of the academy, Archie Nicola, with a small number of people dressed in similar garb. A few nobles follow, and amongst them you spot Aranel Parsen, the caretaker at the rear. A large number of soldiers marching in formation. Each has their armor perfectly maintained and gleaming. As you make your way down the academy through the scholarly district, groups of well-dressed onlookers watch the procession pass quietly. Over the course of the next 30 minutes, you continue down the paved roads and past the lavish estates. Eventually, you pass under the first wall and enter the Spark District. Continuing on quietly, the onlookers grow in numbers as the group grow from dozens to hundreds. Occasionally, a few people throw flowers in front of the procession and onto the coffin. An hour of walking past, the procession makes its way past through all the modest houses, shops, and work sheds, and finally reaches and passes the second wall of Gislane. As you pass under the gate, a handful of guards hand out cloth wraps to cover your mouth and nose. Most people do so, with some help putting them on the casket bearers who wish for it. You notice that Arthur doesn't get one put on him at all. Entering the blanket of the smoke, and thus the district it derives its name from. The quality of houses and buildings drop dramatically, while the few that are visible in your obscured vision being relatively well maintained. But as you move away from the wall, the number of broken windows, untiled roofs, and garbage-laden alleyways continue to grow. As soon as you pass under the gates, the road is lined with people. Hundreds of somber faces watch the coffin pass, and many handfuls of flowers are thrown in the road. Passing by, down the run houses and shops of all sorts, you eventually enter an open square and start to make your way through on one side. More buildings line the road. They're looking to be better quality than most. The Smoke District, another large, multi-storied building that looks like it's plucked from the Scholarly District. The path leading up to it is well maintained, and every bit of it looks to be quite cared for. Quite a few figures can be seen watching the procession from the windows inside, some dressed in robes and gowns, others like normal citizens. To everyone who noticed before, this is the care house.
Mm.
You quickly make your way out of the other side of the square and continue on. The coffin winds its way through the roads of the Smoke District and eventually makes its way back up through the gate on the other hill. Up through the Spark District to the Scholar District and the castle at its highest point to Gislane. As you reach the castle, a large crowd is gathered in front of the gates. You pass through the courtyard, through the large double doors, and into the main foyer.
I'll say before, does anybody not follow the procession into the castle itself?
I go into the castle.
Throughout the whole time, even when passing through the smoke, passing the caretaker's house, Christine doesn't bat any eyelids. Like she's more focused on the thing in front of her than her surroundings.
As we go into the castle, I probably like take Christine's hand and just like I don't put my hood up. My ears are still pinned back, but I'm just going in there. Like if they recognize me, then they recognize me.
I follow. I've never been in a castle before.
Yes, you have.
Seems fun.
You've been there more before. Don't lie to me. It's snowing. As you reach the castle, a large crowd is gathered in front of the gates. You pass through the courtyard, through the large double doors, and into the main foyer. A few people stand on the balconies above and watch as the coffin is brought in and placed on the stand in the middle of the room. Whispers around the room come to an end as idle conversations die down, with a few figures approaching the balcony at the top of the stairs in front of the coffin. Archie, Arthur, Arabella, a tired-looking man who appears to be in his late 20s, and a figure wearing the vestments of Kamatian, the god of death. Off to the side you see a crying kid, probably about 12 years old, and a woman dressed in black.
Do I recognize these people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your mother and your brother.
Oh.
The priest steps up and first begins the funeral proper, opening with how all life eventually comes to an end and how in death we are allowed to endless rest to make up for the long life lived long. She speaks of the comfort that is found in Kamatian's embrace and eventually steps aside, Arthur taking his place. Arthur speaks of his father, of the lessons he was taught growing up to be strong, but not to be close, not to close himself off, on how to be a good leader, on how to find a balance between not giving up and knowing when to admit defeat. Always learning from your actions, he closes with a brief comment about duty and honour, and how Sora Cortus Chain, in his final moments, were given to give his lane, and how he plans to continue his father's work to ensure his legacy. He steps back, sees motions hidden behind a stony expression, and only softens when he looks over to his mother, who takes his place. Arabella doesn't say much. For a minute, she stands in silence, trying to compose himself. Then she starts talking about her husband, not about his military honour or about his duty, but about him as a man. Reminiscing on his little quirks that made him fall in love with him. Commenting that he had his doubts like anyone else, but he was sure his family would continue on and make him proud, both his son and his daughters. Sorry. Arabella steps away, and for a moment there is silence again. Slowly the tired-looking man steps forward, wearing a somber yet well-made garb.
Court was one of my oldest friends, one whom I could count on any time. His counsel was always sound and well thought out, and no matter the situation, he always kept a level head. I don't know how best to honor him. If it wasn't for him, I would already be with Kamatian myself, and I have spent all the time I have, had with Court, trying to repay him for that. It was impossible, as he wouldn't let me do anything extravagant for him. So I forced a title on him and kept him by my side for as long as I could. I know not what the future holds, but I will spend the rest of my life always wondering what he would say or do. And not being able to ask him anymore, or share a drink, or have him watch over my children.
As he says this, his gaze, which was sweeping across the crowd, pauses for a second.
Fuck.
On Selena and Christine side by side.
I'm not hiding myself. Fuck.
It is more than I thought it would be. I wish my friend the rest he deserves, and with others' help, I hope to keep honoring him, the work we do.
The man who appears to be Xavier Ghislaine steps back and turns to Arabella and Arthur and gives them both a hug and starts to leave. With that, food and drink is brought out and people begin to talk. Most of it is about court and loss and all the fun things that people say at your funerals. Some talk politics, as even during a time like this, some continue to work their machinations. What's everyone doing?
I don't think my eyes probably left looking at the last person talking, because I feel like there was probably a moment like where there was just a locked connection.
As you see him, he seems to walk past the Queen and his son into a door adjacent and sort of abscond from the area.
Selena just walks out.
I don't move.
I'm
Just
gonna.
walked out of the castle grounds, just out.
I'm gonna go follow the man, if I'm allowed to.
As you try to
Ew.
approach the door, 2 guards step in front of it.
He's like, you wouldn't even be able to get upstairs to where he was.
May I please speak with him? I was with Court in his final moments. He had some information.
Roll persuasion, I guess.
With disadvantage.
This?
Yep.
Okay.
The
I'm
king
gone.
is grieving at the moment. It would be best to talk to him later, potentially.
Very well. I will speak to him later then. I give a nod,
Hey,
and I go out, and I try and find Selena.
Is there anywhere that's like a nice clearing, like devoid of people?
A lot of the
Garden?
people have been dispersing. It seems that those who didn't come into the funeral, very few have remained around. Some still are waiting around. There's a lot less people than when you arrived.
So just to get an idea of the area, so the castle, because that's on a different hill, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So between, like, you've got the market district, and then once you leave that ring, is that just like a path, like a road and like fields?
There's 2
Yeah.
roads here.
Okay.
Well, two
So
of
But that
she's
is
sort of
hours away by foot.
from the market district.
From the castle where you are to there is hours by foot.
I would have left the castle grounds, like just out into like a fields, like into like a clearing.
Like there's spaces you can go in the scholarly district with like that. Like if you want to go all the way out past the market ring, that is, like I said, you have to go all the way down the hill
Ah.
through the smoke out the market ring. It's hours on foot.
I'm just getting confused by like locations at this point. Sorry, like
It's
I
okay.
thought it was on a second hill.
It is, but it's on the market district circles both hills.
Okay, all right. I just want to find like the clearest, emptiest place with the.
In the castle,
Please.
there's the garden that you used to frequent often. Other than that, there are some gardens in the academy, a few parks in the scholarly district, and the
Somewhere nice
Spark
and
district.
empty with like not very much stuff that I can destroy.
There's places.
There's-
The closest being obviously the garden in the castle, but you can go elsewhere if you'd rather not be near the castle.
Yeah, I think like maybe she'll just go into the castle garden because she would have spent a lot of time there, and that's kind of like a safe space for her.
Yeah, aside from the few gardeners who are finishing up whatever work they're doing, you're by yourself here.
Because at this point she's sort of like losing control of her power. Like it's just kind of like she hasn't sprouted wings, but she's like glowing and shaking. And just like, it's probably the first time she's actually shown any anger.
Can you roll me perception?
Perception?
Yep.
Okay.
As you look around and you hear the sounds and the following, like, similar light to when you use your Asima abilities appear, like, in a hedge behind you.
If I see that, I'd just like go over to see what it is.
You see your father, also standing there, unable to control his emotions.
It just like, does he see me?
Yeah. He turns, when you step around the hedge, he turns over and looks at you and he sees you as well, and is just like frozen for a moment himself.
She doesn't say anything. She's just like staring at him, like frozen.
There's like a beat first pass between the two of you, and then that like light in a way that was coming off from him just disappears immediately. Like cuts out as if like the way to put it basically is he like asserts control over his emotions, and his face becomes a bit of a mask. You can't really read his expression as he looks at you. You're home.
Yes, clearly.
I'm going to assume you didn't enjoy your travels very much.
I passed one trial. That was about as far as I got.
You're taking steps. You're making progress. You will make more.
I guess that's a good thing.
If that is what you think, then yes, it is a good thing. It's a great thing. It's amazing.
I wasn't really given much of a choice to think it was anything other than a good thing.
No, you weren't.
I guess that's just the way it is.
Sorry if I'm not super ecstatic about seeing my daughter, who is going to die, after finding out my best friend died.
I honestly don't think there's ever a time you've ever looked at me with anything other than disappointment and shame. So what was I supposed to respect? You expect me to think you were going to be ecstatic to see me?
Little Sari, you really have grown up so fast. You know, I still remember when you used to come out here as a child. You'd sit over there and he points to a bench. It's like, yes, this is before everything happened. You might not even remember, you were so little. You used to sit there and your mother would read you a book under the sun. You would play in the garden, and the gardeners, they used to hate you. You'd run through and tear up the plants. That was a long time ago. Too long.
Might have been nice to remember.
I wish you did. A lot of things have happened to you, Selena. You did not have a choice in it, and nor did I, and I will tell you this, and I mean it with all sincerity that you probably don't believe I have. I am not disappointed in you. The absolute minimum, you do your duty, even if you know it means your doom. It is a horrible thing to pass on to a child, but still you do it. So no, I'm not disappointed in you. But forgive me if I don't relish the opportunity of watching it happen.
I met her, by the way.
Met who?
Christine. I know.
He doesn't answer.
I don't hate you for it.
For what? You can speak.
I don't hate you for what you did.
I've done many things in my life. I don't look that old, but I am older than most in this castle. Well, a few. You can be specific, Selena. There's no one else here.
You made another child out of someone else.
And if you might not hate me for it, but your mother sure does.
She travels with us. She was with us. Court took her from the academy. Told her that she needed to get out if she never she didn't leave then she never would.
Ugh, that bastard. Of course he did. Oh. Could you say her name again?
Christine.
I will remember that.
Be careful, Father. Something's happening in Ghislaine.
There's always something happening in Ghislaine. Whether it's the storm growing, or the nobles pushing one way or the other, or the smokes arguing about left, right, and
Just
center.
be careful of the caretaker. That's all I can say.
He just nods. Okay.
Protect Nathaniel.
If anyone lays a hand on my youngest, I will bring down devastation that you have never seen before.
I'm going to go, and I'm going to do the rest of these trials. But I'm not going to promise to die. Because I'm sick of promising my life. I'm going to do as the prophecy says. But I want to know more about this prophecy. I've never even been told what was said.
If I remembered the words, I would tell you them.
Well, I'm going to find them out.
Do so. You might find something interesting. I hope you find a way out of it. And hey, if there's any one thing in life I hope you fail at, it's this destiny. And he starts to walk away.
By the way, I could grow wings.
He stops. He's like, fuck. And he just keeps walking. His walk takes him out of your line of sight. You hear a door slam somewhere around the corner. And you're alone in the garden. To those back inside,
Christine,
the crowd has started.
Yes.
You go.
Christine, as you've left to find her, you sadly don't.
Yeah, like at that point, like she's just wandering around, like worried, scared, almost a bit like fearful of what happened if she was seen, but she just can't be alone at this point in time.
Eventually, the crowd starts to disperse for Nerisian, who you were in there for a bit.
Yeah.
People seem to be preparing for the burial. From the chatter you heard while you were in there, Christine, Nerisian, Selena, you wandered off so you didn't hear this. I actually was away, so I don't even know where Annexara is. I think she's here.
Yeah, she's here. I believe.
Okay, cool. But you find out that the actual burial itself is going to be happening at Court's old home. Apparently, Xavier had offered a place amongst the pastoral families, and Arabella refused.
Of course.
The funeral then continues probably 10 minutes later. At this point, Selena, as you're walking back through the garden, you spot.
He said I was leaving the garden.
Oh,
You can stay there.
You can stay there.
Yeah, I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb at a statue. Multiple times.
Alright, you lay devastation onto the statue. If you don't
Thank
hit
God
it,
people can cast mending.
If you don't hit it, you hit the place around it, and whatever element happens does. It
Cold.
freezes, it explodes, whatever. It's sort of hard for you to control what color is going to come out of the orb at this point.
Naturally, she's more inclined towards lightning and cold. They're the ones that she sort of controls a little bit. Thunder to a point. She's never really been able to harness poison and acid, and she doesn't enjoy fire.
Eventually, I guess then anyone who's looking for her can roll perception.
Christine, if you want, because you were looking.
Yeah.
No, that's Nerisian.
Like, she's also like screaming in rage as she does this as well.
Yeah,
So
it's not a super high check.
Yeah.
I still roll
Eventually,
sticks.
eventually you you locate the scream and you see the lights flashing in a garden nearby.
Just gonna use up all my spell slots.
You see her attack a statue of what appears to be just a white horse. Both of you rock up at this point.
I just move forward. I don't really say much.
At this point, she's pretty much used up all of her power that she could possibly sort of harness, and she's just like falls to the ground.
I want to sort of move up to her, sort of kneel down and just pull her in for a hug.
And she's like freezing cold as well.
Doesn't matter.
Nerisian would like to give a hug. Takes one touch, feels how cold you are. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't take this the wrong way, but cold-blooded. You know, this is awkward now. I hug. I keep hugging.
Pretends to give. He says children. Like I ever fucking mattered. Like you ever mattered to him. And then this.
She just holds you tighter.
I hate this place. I want to get out of here. I never want to come back here ever again.
You know, at some point, Chris. You know, at some point, both of you, you might have to come back. Not for anything, not for any quest, not for anything.
You'll be glad to know that I did speak to him, Nerisian.
That is good, at least. But, if I can be honest with you, you're probably going to have to come back. Not for any other reason other than to battle the demons inside yourself.
I've been battling these demons my entire life. This is the first time I've ever been able to speak up to him. Tell him how I feel.
Good for you. Nerisian says that just matter-of-factly, not in any sort of judgmental way. He's saying that as if proud.
The entire time, Christine as well, it's just pure silence, like almost like she's just kind of biting her lip, just not saying anything.
Maybe one day you can tell me off.
This place is toxic and just filth. And if I had anything to do with it, I'd get Nathaniel out of here and just never come back. People exploit people. No, you can't trust anyone. This is just purgatory.
As much as your plan to drag Nathaniel away is solid, you should never drag a child away from their mother.
Just dagger eyes at you. From that.
He's not safe here. Nobody's safe here. There's no such thing as safety in Ghislaine.
There's no such thing as safety anywhere in the world, no matter how safe you might feel.
Pit of snakes just waiting to find the weakest link. I'm done with this place, at least for now.
As this is all happening, Anaxar and Chef Yoladi, I also don't know if you're here because I wasn't there for that part. You two both see as people have started to thin out and the casket is being picked up by the bearers and started to be led back down out of the castle to the others in the garden. You don't notice immediately, but you eventually hear the sounds of people moving. Many people like heading away. Whether that draws your attention or not is entirely up to you.
My first interest is to see how Selena's reacting to it. Because if she's not going to move, I'm not moving.
I used to like this statue. I used to like these gardens. Let's go. I don't want. Let's go.
Okay.
As you all leave, you see the tail end of the last of the procession going on. You can see the casket being carried away again, presumably back down towards the Deschain residence in the Smart District where it will be buried. Anyone who wishes to attend the burial can, but nothing very eventful happens. It's just taken there, somberly buried in a plot in the garden behind the house.
I will attend the burial out of respect.
At the burial, you see Arabella, Arthur, Samantha, Aki, all the bearers. It seems to be very small. It doesn't seem to be like any other people other than that group and yours.
Hmm.
Sort of like wander down that way, like on the way out. And sort of stop. Like I probably would have gone with Neresian, honestly, because I feel like we're sort of traveling together at this point. Christine, Neresian, and
Yeah. Yeah.
As the casket gets lowered, each of the pallbearers, every member of his family, they each pour a shovel of dirt on him. Arabella's the last one, looks to the group of you and goes to hand the shovel to see if you want to be part of this.
I
take it.
I will also move forward with her.
I'm like, at this point, I'm exhausted right now.
How heavy is the shovel of dirt?
It's just, you get the shovel and you can fill it as much as you want.
Okay. I'll take the shovel, and I'll fill it up enough to the point where I can comfortably lift it with my beady little
There's a
fucking no strength arm.
halfling-sized one because there's a halfling in the procession here.
Ah, yeah, okay, then I'll take that one and I'll do that.
I don't want to speak for Jeremy, but I think Osiris would participate as well. Just as I think that's an Osiris thing to do. Is Annex participating at all? Or you just
Next won't
watching?
participate in that because she doesn't feel like she knew him enough to warrant being able to do that. But she'll
Eventually,
just be there.
Eventually, Arthur and the first leader of the pallbearers finish it off, and somber music happens as the camera fades away as the lights of the sunset start to rise up. Watching from a distance, there seems to be a silhouette watching it, sitting in a tree. A sword at his sides that gleams in the fading light, and as the sun turns away, the camera catches a mop of brown hair, and then it vanishes. As that's where we're going to end session.
Cool.
Court attended his own funeral.
Did anyone check the casket though?
You guys know there's
Casket's
no body.
It would have been empty. There's no body.
There is
I
no
would
body in
There's
that
only
casket.
Zool.
There was only Zool.
Did
Uh,
everyone
Yo, I
have
didn't actually-
fun at the funeral?
Yeah,
Yo.
I
This was meant to happen at like the start of the session, but things just kept going.
It always does.
Yeah, it does.
I'm sorry, you guys will never actually know what my meaning is.
No, that's
One day.
That's not good. We'll come back in 2 weeks' time. This is at a crossroads now. I know people want to go one direction, other people want to go another direction. It's going to be fun talking about it next week.
This'll
Yeah.
be fun.
But did anyone have an okay session, like in general?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't react well to funeral story.
And Kim, you had a lovely conversation the day before.
I had a lovely conversation and a week of rest. Yes.
Oh shit! I should have been using
Hey.
deception.
It's okay. I'm getting sassed at by a 17-year-old, and that's fun.
17-year-old.
Yeah, that's what Christine is, right? She gave me
No.
daggers.
She's like 19, isn't she?
19, yeah.
17-year-old, right?
Yeah.
She's
This-
like 6.
This is a fun week. Me and I have been looking forward to this session for a while before.
How do you look forward to this?
Because we knew a lot of things were gonna come out,
Yeah.
and a lot more things than we expected came out, which was surprising. But I had a good session. I'll have to recap Jeremy what happened, or he can just watch the VOD.
That sucks so much that he couldn't be here for it.
It
though.
really does, yeah.
We'll run
Oh,
through
well.
we'll run through his off-session stuff at another time, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, if we can get him together, do like his side thing that happens, because there's important stuff for him to know.
But thanks for joining us. I hope you all not have fun, but at least felt something today, because it was a good session.
I did more this session than last time.
Tomorrow will be more Nier Automata by me. I'm playing that game, having fun. Bayside, it's good. Wednesday is more Pokemon Nuzlocke, and Thursday is we don't know yet. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out when it happens.
Kim might have to call in sick for being too depressed for a week.
I'll be fine.
I wonder if that'll work for me tomorrow.
Hey, my
Wow.
fictional second dad died. Did I take the day off?
Oh,
I had a virtual funeral. Can I?
Goodness,
had a
maybe
really, really sad D&D session.
Look,
Like,
you all took the lives of adventurers. The fact you have parents is just.
I died.
listen. This has been 3 sessions of depression in a row. We can move on to something new
difference
next week.
between like dead
Well,
parents
burn down the
and
church.
Come on, guys, let's go!
neglectful parents that never really sort of put any effort in.
Yeah.
I think this.
Does a little one in the suitcase want to help me burn down a church?
Look. I'll look.
You can loot it
You
before
can
you
end
burn
it now, AJ.
Nah,
Trevor's not
that
here.
kind of, hinder my godhood if I... Look, I can ransack a church, that's
You
fine.
think
I'm not
that?
stealing from it.
Let the boy end his stream.
Oh, you can end it.
Yeah, end the stream.
Is anyone doing anything? Mim, Sam, you streaming anything cool next week or on the weekend?
No idea.
No, but we are getting prepared to do a charity stream early next month.
24 hours.
Listen to that. Go watch that. Have fun with that. But yeah, twitch.tv/Zerans, twitch.tv/SnowFoxAU. They're fun people, I guess.
No, we're not.
Twitch.tv/DirkNotKB.
Nah,
but
it's fine.
as we always end it, don't do drugs, stay in school. Maybe this week do that. It's a lot of emotions running through. Just be good. Be a good
Do
kid.
tea. Tea is safe.
Be a good kid for 1 week, alright?
Oh, great.
Next week I won't give a shit, but this week maybe just be a good kid. But I will catch you tomorrow, and I love you, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.